craftsmen of our faith. Good night, Barbados. Good night, Caribbean. Good night, the world. You are watching the Marcia Week Show, and we are coming to you live from Barbados. Beautiful, beautiful Barbados. Listen, I am a pumped tonight, guys. We are ready to go. How is everybody doing? How are we doing? Did we have a great day? Monica Ince. Oh, my dear. How are you? Vernon Garns, Judy Jilks, ADG. You see, Judy, I can't miss you out, you know. Judy is a faithful one, right, Judy? Jermaine, good evening. Marcia Miller, how are you, Marcia? Oh, my goodness. Teroni Hall, another faithful one. Lucinda Allen, faithful. Sandra Charles, Sherri. Oh, my goodness. A very pleasant evening to all, she says. Yes. Marcy again, my namesake, and Teroni, I mentioned you already. Jefferson Summers, good evening. Viho, good evening. You can tell I am on top of the world this evening, guys. Alison Murray, how you doing, girl? How are you? Joyanne Roberts. Oh, I'm clapping for you all because without you, there is no Marcia Week Show. The loyal opposition, where are you? Loyal opposition. You know they're afraid of you, right? This government is afraid of the loyal opposition. I can tell you that. Tony Paris, are you part of the loyal opposition? Stanton Grosette. Yes, oh my goodness, all 280,000 of us in here. Jacqueline Aline, who I'm supposed to call. Oh, wow. Listen, Lyric Lewis, Jilks, how are you? Come I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping. Alexi Williams, Deloris Paulette. Yes, Victory. This is the lady with the Jesus, with the cross in her back and the cross here and the cross there. Let me tell you, she covered, you know. Don't even try it. Callie B, all the way from UK, watching from the UK. Oh, yes, Lucinda. Lucinda, you have to tell them to like and share. You have to like and share, folks. Important that you like and share. Listen, tonight is going to be a powerful night, yes? So, folks, let's get ready. I'm just going to give you some time to like and share. Those of you, if you have not subscribed, if you look to the right, you will see the word subscribe. So you've got to hit that, all right? And so what that will allow you is that anytime that we come on, right, then you're going to get a notification, right? So make sure you're subscribed, all right? And like, did you like? The big question is, remember, we're doing this thing together. We have come this far. There's a song we used to sing in church says, we have come this far by faith. Right? And we're where we are right now, where we are a formidable, potent force, where they worry when it comes on to Sunday, Monday, yes, Wednesday and Friday nights. They wonder what, oh Lord, don't do anything, because if they get it, you know, and that at night, they're gonna whip us at night. They know that. They know we're going to call it out on the show, right? Yes. And you guys make it happen. Yes. Diana, husbands, good night. Yes, Tony Paris, remind them to like and share in your WhatsApp groups, right? We need you to share it on your Facebook. Share it among your friends, you know. Get it out there. Take the moment to get it out there. All right, so tonight we are not going to waste any time. I just give you I will give you one more minute to share. And in that minute that you are sharing, I'm going to ask Dave to put up the picture of Chad Blackman. So today was a very important day for both Chad Blackman and Felicia Dijon. What happened today? Anybody can tell me what happened today? Does anybody know what happened today? So today, both of them, they are legit now, guys. They are definitely in this race. Today, Mr. Chad Blackman, who you're seeing on my screen today, he was the first to pay his candidate deposit in for as a candidate for St. James North. Okay, so that's the picture there, and he is a BLP candidate. Senator Chad Blackman arrives at the National Housing Corporation building, Country Road, to pay his nomination deposit. And if Dave could just give us yes, let's read. The race for the St. James North by-election officially got underway this morning as Barbados Labour Party candidate Senator Chad Blackman paid his $250 nomination. And nomination, I can't see it anymore. Where am I? Nomination deposit at the Treasury. Blackman arrived at the National Housing Corporation building on Country Road at 11:05 a.m. and completed the transaction by 11:08 a.m. 11:05, and wow, 3 minutes, surrounded by a strong show of party support. Walking alongside him were BLP supporters Roy Bishop, Lillian Lloyd, and several high-profile figures, including the Minister of Agriculture, Marsha Cattle, Deputy Prime Minister Sancha Bradshaw, and the list goes on, right? And so Blackman said his campaign would maintain momentum in the weeks ahead, right? And etc. Now, I want to say, if Dave could go back to the picture, that today you would have seen that we carried live, actually, Felicia Dujon of the Democratic Labour Party, as she went in to pay her deposit. Yes. And we were not at this location because I didn't know. I'm a newbie, and I guess they don't really consider me as media. I'm what you call new media. All right. And I would have gone and carried it. And so I decided to use Barbados Today, their poster, just to let you know that he did that. Mr. Chad Blackman, he actually paid his deposit at 11, went there at 11:05 this morning, and Mr. John was after 1 today. I have reached out to other to third parties to see whether or not they are going to be fielding any candidates, sending any candidates to contest for St. James North. I am still waiting to know if that is going to happen. And if you know something out there, let me know. Who else is going to pay their 250 deposit? If you know that, let me know, and we will go and we will carry it as well. Okay. All right. So we've got that out the way, and you saw Mr. John today looking so pretty. I'm female, so I'm going to say that she looked really, really pretty. But today, guys, this evening, there was a young man by the name of Joshua Austin. And Joshua is part of the Blaze Track Club, right? And we brought him here on the show, and you were able to meet Joshua. And I told you that when I went to the Blaze Track Club, how Joshua was just so very, very helpful. Well, guess what? Joshua is going to Canada as well. And for the next couple of minutes, we're going to talk to Joshua about his trip, and what his needs are. And if you're listening and you see this little young man, and I know once you see him, he's so pleasant, he's such a wonderful spirit, that once you see him, you might just want to help him. Now, this is Joshua here. Joshua sitting right there. Oh, we missed him. That's Joshua. Joshua, the youngest one on your right. That is Joshua. He's 12 years old, and he's going to Canada as well. Now, can I give you a little report and let on the little young lady? And the name the name is missing me. Afari. So we have collected a little over $2,000 to her. Come on, man, loyal opposition. Loyal opposition. And so she just needs a little over $700 more to complete her ticket and accommodation. Come on, take a standing ovation, loyal opposition. So you're sending her that little one, and she's 8 years old. She is definitely going to Canada because her ticket can be purchased right now. It's just to complete the payment of her accommodation. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Come on, let me see the thumbs up. Let me see this thumbs up. Yeah, let me see the thumbs up. I'm waiting for the all of the thumbs up, please. And I'm going to get the correct name by the time Joshua comes on. Joshua, if you're there, can you turn on your camera and your microphone, please? Yes. Woo, wonderful. Okay. All right. So you're going to meet Joshua now again, and his wonderful mother, Danielle Mosley. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Shalom.
Shalom. Oh, I love that. So this is the family. They're Hebrews, and it's great to have you all again, Daniel, Miss Danielle Mosley, and Joshua Austin. Joshua, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
You're good. How was your day?
It was good.
I didn't hear you, please. Can you repeat?
It was good.
Your day was good. What was so good about your day? Can you?
I had a nice sleep.
You had a nice sleep. So you had no school today.
He didn't
No
go to
school.
school today.
You didn't go to school today, so you had a nice sleep. Because I know you train hard, don't you?
Yes, please.
Yes. And Miss Mosley, how are you doing?
I am good. I had a busy day today, but I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. You're good. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Now we met Joshua only a couple weeks ago, both right there when he was training, and he also was on the program. And just a wonderful young man. And I want to say to you, congratulations, um, um, uh, Miss Mosley, for raising such a very he's a really wonderful young man. Honestly, when I got to the track club, he took it on himself. There were older ones, but he took it on himself to make sure that I was comfortable, made sure I
Yes,
was
yes,
there. I That's how he is.
yes. That is exactly how he is. He
Can you
he's he's a hands-on helper. He likes a lot of helping. Even if you don't ask, he helps. Sometimes I tell him he has to wait till somebody asks. Sometimes.
Wow, wow, that is great. That is great. So he helps out around the house sometimes.
Yes, because we also have some chickens, so he helps with the chickens, feeding the dog, feeding of the cats, because we do have cats. We have a lot of cats. So he always helping.
Oh my goodness. So Joshua, how is it feeding the chickens? Tell me about that. What do you do? Like when you take care of the chickens, so you feed them. Well, tell me your routine with the chickens.
I get them the feed first, then give them water.
Lean
Then take
forward
it.
a little bit, Joshua, so I can hear you. Lean a bit forward, Joshua. Yeah.
I feed
Mm.
them first, then give them water, then take out the eggs.
And then you take out the eggs.
I put them in wheels.
I see. I see. So do you sell the eggs?
Yeah.
Oh, you sell the eggs. Boy, you're in business. You're running a little business there, Joshua.
Well,
Yes.
the two little ones, him and the two little ones, yeah.
Okay, so so tell me about how many more children do you have, Miss Mosley?
I have five children in total.
Five
Three
children in
Joshua
total.
and yeah, three Joshua and his two older siblings. They're all from a previous relationship, and my last two, which is 6 and 4, is from my husband.
Well, let me tell you, congratulations. I mean, with all that is happening, a lot. Right now, they say we need more children in Barbados. You know that they need us to populate the place more. You're saying
Oh,
not you.
I've done my I've done my quarter. No,
But I have three, and sometimes I say I should have had more children. So that's why I tell you congratulations. But
no,
listen,
thank you.
now Joshua started sports. So tell me, when did you notice that Joshua liked sports, Miss Mosley?
Well, when he came to me about 2 years ago, we had a sports program out in Valerie where
Mm,
Josh lives, and he joined the football team there. So he's been playing with the football team. It's only when he graduated from primary school and went secondary school, which is Parkinson Memorial.
mm-hmm,
While he was there, his coach saw that he had potential because they were training for sports, and that was only last year, like last year October last year October. So he came home and told me, you know what? He signed up because he signed up for a lot of different things. Came home and told me that he signed up for athletics. And I was like, sure, there's something you want to do. He said yes. Lo and behold, I did not even know that he was good at long distance running.
oh
I was
wow.
not. I was not. I didn't know that because we have any long distance runners in our family. We have sprinters, but not long distance. So when
Who
he
are
said
the
he was
sprinters?
interested,
You used to run?
oh, no, no, no. Um, I, no, my older brother ran, and my oldest son ran for sports too as well. Yeah, my
Okay.
older brother ran in the time of Obadele, and my oldest son, yeah, he was in sports at Leicester School as well, and my niece as well.
So
So
there's
yeah,
that in the, but I could see from his structure, the way he's built, that that he's going to he would be doing very well in some kind of athletics, some kind of sports, that his body
yes, I
says,
believe so too.
that well that's wonderful. And so as a mom, Joshua was when Joshua was on, I don't know if you remember, he said something that really touched a lot of people. He said, Joshua, I wonder if you remembered, you said that where you lived, that you lived in Britain's Hill, is that what you said?
Yes, please. Yes.
And you have to go to school in the Pine,
Yes, please.
and that sometimes you're afraid as you walk to school, and because you're afraid that they would find out you're not from that community. Mom, when you hear Joshua say something like that, what 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 goes on in your mind?
Well, basically, what I'd be thinking is that we have been in British Hill only a shy of 12 years. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't know the rivalry between, we have heard the rivalry between Britain's Hill and the Pine, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think, I try not to think that has anything to do with us. But I just want people to understand we don't own a territory,
Mm-hmm.
and the need to just not fight each other, and the children need a different type of mindset, really and
Yes,
truly.
yes. And
Yeah.
does it make you concerned for Joshua, like when he has to go to school, or anything?
Sometimes, sometimes it does, but then he has surrounding family members that try to instill in him, there are
Mhm,
times that you would have to defend yourself, but do not go out of your way to interfere with anyone,
mhm.
just because of the so-called, rivalry. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I tell him, try to keep humble, try to stay with positive friends or core friends at school. Don't really get in confrontation with anyone. Try to walk away. So those are the things I try to instill in him.
Yes. So
If
so
that does not work, then I say, well, then you seek the authorities afterwards.
afterwards, yes, very good, Mom. So Joshua, You started doing athletics. You were doing, I think you were doing a little football before, right?
Yes, please.
So can you tell me why did you choose athletics? So you've given up the football and you're is that true? And you're focusing mainly, or you're still doing both?
Yeah.
A little bit of football, but
I
he
remember
his
he
not
told me that.
right,
Yeah,
but his focus is on the athletics primarily.
primarily on the athletics. So tell me,
Yeah.
Joshua, why? Can you tell me why you are, veering in that direction of the athletics? You're leaving off football. Football must be over here very lonely, and you're all up into athletics. Why?
Because when I was
Come
playing,
into the microphone. Come into the microphone. Yeah.
when I was playing a practice match at my practice, I realized I was running real much and I didn't lose breath. I was sprinting up and down. So I went when I transferred to my new school, which is Parkinson. I went and see Mr. Ellis. I asked him if he could join his team.
And so you realize you had the natural ability to run long distances. That
Yes,
is
please.
great. That is
As
that is great. So now, Joshua, you're going to Canada, and you raised any money as yet? How much money you need, Joshua? Let me hear, Joshua. Joshua, how much money you need to go to Canada?
I don't know.
Hey, that's one.
Joshua, you need approximately $3,000. Okay. And I know that your coach is doing, he's a real child. He has no concept of what that is, right, mom? He has no concept of how much it is.
No,
So mom,
he
what
doesn't.
it
But
does?
it is around that.
Yes, yes, yes. And so Joshua, I know that the parents and everybody at the club, you're all doing fish cake sales, cake sales, your car washes, right? They're doing a lot of those
Yes,
things to
I do.
raise money as a group, right? But what would this trip mean to you, Joshua, if you get a chance to go to Canada to run, right? What does it mean? What would it
That
mean
means
to
there's a step.
Joshua? Because come forward and speak in the camera. Speak to the, yeah.
That means there's a step. That means there's a step forward to me beating Usain Bolt's record.
Did you listen? You have to repeat that again. Come on, you have to repeat that. Repeat that. Come closer,
The
man. Say it loud and open your mouth loud. I love to hear these kinds of things. Go ahead.
is a step forward of me beating Usain Bolt's record.
You beating Usain Bolt's record. You hear that? You hear it? You heard that, people, from Joshua Austin on the Marcia Week show for the first time, May 2nd, 7:26 p.m. This young man says going to Canada to run is one step further, one step closer, right? To beating Usain Bolt's record. Listen, we've got to get him to Canada. We have to get him to Canada. Anybody believe? Who of you? Anybody out there believe him that he could do it?
Yeah.
Vihoy says,
I'm
I
not
believe
convinced.
him.
He's
But
so
mom,
serious that he went and went in the library and bought and took up the books that has on Hussein Bolt, trying to read everything about him from time he start running and everything. He bring home about 4 books.
oh my goodness. Did you all hear that? Oh, folks. And that's why I told you when I got there, I couldn't take my eyes off this little young man here. Did you hear what he said? He's 12 years old. He tells you of how difficult it is for him to get from Bridgesville to Parkinson School because he doesn't know if he's going to get there alive. We're laughing, but it's not funny. But for him as a child, it's scary. But he has this big goal, and the big goal is that he will break Usain Bolt's record. He is buying, he goes to the library. So you don't have a book. I think I have a Usain Bolt book that we bought, I'm going to look for it. And if I still have it, I'm going to make sure you have that book. Because when my son used to run, we bought that book for him to inspire him. So listen, any Usain Bolt book out there you want to get for him, but we want to get him to Canada. So we won't confuse the message. Don't go and buy the books yet. All right. He right now he's going to the library and he's getting the Usain book at the library. Right. But this young man, Dale, you're right. This is a young man with a vision. He has a vision, and that's how he seemed to me. That's how he seemed to me when I met him. And when he got off the program, my husband said, Marcel, this little man has to go to Canada. He has to go. Do you know when what tell me what apart from you being able to break Usain Bolt's record, what else do you think that just going on the plane? Have you traveled before?
No, please.
Come forward so I can hear you. Okay. You have never traveled before.
No, please.
You've never traveled before. Do you get do you think you're gonna get scared when the plane goes up in the air, like all the way up?
Yes, please.
A little bit. Oh my goodness. So your mommy needs to be there. I think because of your age, mommy has to go as well, right, mom?
Yes, yes, I have to go. I'm practically trying to. I have to go. I might have to take the two small ones too because they're homeschooled, so their dad will be working, and I don't think he even got time to balance it too. Because when we do this thing, like it is effortless. You
Yes.
understand? We balance everything, so
Well,
it might be a little hard on dad, but yeah.
yeah, but listen, at a minimum, because she from the time we spoke, you said, well, we will have to probably find two tickets. Well, if we can at least help with one ticket, right? If we could at least help with one ticket, Joshua's ticket to get him to Canada, folks. And Joshua, let me tell you, that plane ride, I don't like, the plane ride is fine, but I don't really like it that much, to be honest. I hate when it's going to take off. I always put my head back and I say a prayer.
He might be a bit scared in the beginning because he's never been on a plane, but
And so, Joshua, that would be a great experience for you to go on the plane for the first time, right?
Mhm.
Right, Joshua? Come forward. I wonder if
Yes,
he's hearing
that's so
me.
scary.
Can you hear me, Joshua? Okay. Dave, can you hear me?
I
Anybody
didn't
can
hear
hear
you
me?
properly.
Right. Okay.
We didn't
Oh,
hear
so
properly.
you didn't hear properly. Are you guys hearing me? Let me know about the audio, please. Somebody says nothing to be afraid of, Joshua. Traveling on a
I can
plane
hear
is
you
an
now.
Yes, thank you. Traveling on a plane is an experience to enjoy. You will be okay. Yes. And you are going to come back here with a medal. I am telling you, you're going to come back with a
Mhm.
medal. Now, folks, anybody out there want to do the same way how we help? Am I pronouncing her name right, Joshua? I think Afari. I think, yeah. Well, we raise the airfare at least for
Afia.
the that
Althea.
Afia. Thank you, Afia. Right, Afia. Yes, we raised the everybody. Yes, you remember this little pretty little girl, and we fell in love with her, and she's going to Canada, y'all. She is on her way to Canada. All right. And thanks to every single one of you on here. You see all that coach is smiling. That's how we want the coach to be smiling when we raise Joshua's ticket. So this is the number. The number is 236 7000. 236 7000. If you're overseas, right, it's the same. I'm going to put up the People's Line banner, which is the banner that we it's the same number that you call. And yeah, and you can put I don't know, yeah, I have the number here. So that's the number that you call if you would like to send this wonderful young man to Canada with such a vision. Oh, wow. Somebody's saying if there's anybody in the chat who have buddy passes, you can offer the family too. Okay? If you have buddy passes. Okay? Do we have anybody out there that will say, listen, I'm going to donate to Joshua? Can I see some commitment in the chat? Come on, man. Come on, man. We just have another 2 minutes with them in this segment. Who is going to say they are going to Sandra Charles. I think they're going to York University. It's where they're going. And yes. Anybody else in the chat? Is there anybody in the chat will say, listen, I'm gonna donate? Yes, Sandra Charles. Yes, Sandra, write the number down, 236-7000. Joshua is going to Canada. And what Joshua, you said thank you a while ago? I don't think he's hearing me.
Thank you.
Oh, he said thank you. All right, they're going to Toronto. Okay, anybody else? Anybody
Yes,
else?
it
Who
did.
else? Yes. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, folks, continue to let me see if anybody now. I want to thank another viewer who paid for Joshua's well, I won't say that because I don't know if he knows yet, so we leave that alone. All right. Okay. Okay, so you live in Toronto. Oh, Sandra, wonderful. So you Bajans who you're in the diaspora, you live in Toronto area. You have to look out for the Blaze Track Club when they get there. All right. So you message me. I'll give you the number for the coach, and make sure that you're taking care of them when our dancers travel. The Bajans in the diaspora always shower them with love. So we want to make sure, yeah. So they are traveling. Yes, VI. I will get all the timelines again for you. I will get all the information for you, VI. Okay. All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So people are messaging. People are also messaging. Okay, someone just message and they said that that I told them thanks on your behalf. Okay. All right. And people, once you give them the timelines, I know that they will help. Okay. Well, Joshua, I want to wish you all the best. Okay. And I want to wish you all the very, very best in your travel, in your training, in your goal. You have a clear goal, and I want to wish you all the best in what you've set your mind and your heart to do. All right. And I think they're stuck. Something is wrong with their feed. Yeah. With their video. Oh, they're back now. Yes, they're
You can
frozen.
hear
Yeah.
now.
Yes, you can hear now. Well, we're gonna stay in touch with the coach,
Yeah.
and he will let you know what is happening. Okay. But keep training because we're going to be at the airport to meet you when you come back, Mr. Usain Bolt of Barbados.
Okay.
We're going to be at the airport. All right. So, Joshua, all the very best, and thanks to your mom for allowing you to come on to the show. And mom, all the very, very best, and keep doing what you're doing. You're obviously doing
Okay.
a great job with your son, and keep doing that, mom. Yes, I think they're stuck. Good night. Good night. Thank you so much for coming. And we're gonna
Thank
pop in
you.
again before the trip. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much. God bless you. Bye bye. Listen, isn't that wonderful? This young man has a goal in mind. He knows he has a vision, and he knows exactly what it is that he wants to do. And I think that is wonderful. All right. So I'm gonna ask Dave to we have Mike on the move to share with you. And this Mike on the Move, it's as a result of the people in the diaspora. Let me tell you, there are some people, they're not in Barbados, but they love this country. And when we come on here and we say that there's a need, we have people who are ready and willing to help. And I just want to say on behalf of that family that was blessed, the family in Nelson Street, they said thank you. And I wanted to show you that I actually went and bought the groceries. And so this is my journey to Jordan Supermarket, where I went to purchase all that well, what we could buy with the money, because you know how it is going to the supermarket these days. So go right ahead, Dave. We're here at Jordan's Supermarket, and we are shopping. And why am I showing you the shopping? Because uh, we told you about the family at in Nelson Street, and someone donated 425 Barbados dollars to shop for them, right? So we can buy some stuff for the kids to go to school with, etc. So I just, for accountability purposes, I just wanted to be able to show you what we're doing. When we tell you that we are helping, this is what we're doing. And we want to thank that person in the diaspora who actually, um, who actually gave the funds. So I'm going to get some Eve hamburgers for them, because she wanted stuff for them to take to school, right? So I'm going to pick up some of these. And these are what? How much is these again? Okay, let me get this here properly. 11.55. So I think I'm going to take up. There are 6 children, I think, and so I'm going to take up. Is it 6 or 7 children? So I'm taking up 4 packs of these. I'm not the best shopper, but my husband is better at this than I am. Don't laugh. I cook. I like to cook. And so children like hot dogs. Okay. So I know some of you out there are going to say, buy healthy stuff and so on. I'm going to do the best. But reality is this money got to stretch and they've got to eat. Okay. So I know they're like, hello. Hi. I'm good. And you?
Balance.
Huh?
Balance.
Balance?
Yeah, balance.
No.
Balance is very good. Everything not good.
Yes. Amen.
You're in between.
In between. Probably I should get a fourth one. Let me get 4. And get 2 more. Okay, so I get 5 lunch of it. Yeah. No, I have a lot of. Look who is coming here. It is man dress man. Can I show them? Can I show them? I tell you, he's a true guy and he's man. I tell you, my guy decked out. Look who is with me here. Look who is with me here, shopping with me. So come, I'll leave the card here. I just have to get some. I think we need some carbohydrates, so I have to get to the macaroni and rice and all that. So this is Mr. Those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Dale Rowe, and his constituency is encompasses Nelson Street and Wellington Street. And as you know, he brought me to Nelson Street to meet the family, right? And I told you someone donated the money, and we said, I'll come once I could get it off today. I will come and shop, and we're going to the family afterwards, right?
Yes.
So I'll be finished very soon. I just gonna get, yeah. All right, let me just get. Oopsie, I'm sorry. Get a few things. I'm gonna find the It's gone. Yeah. Let me see if I find the no signs. I'm trying to find rice and macaroni. Let me see where I can find that. All right, do you want to watch that or? Okay, thanks. So we're going to find the rice and macaroni. And I think, you know, oh, yeah, I missed out a whole aisle. Okay, and the chow mein and all that's good. Oh, and sugar. Okay, so I should get some sugar. Yeah, and so I have 2 packs of sugar in my hand here. I didn't check the price. Oh, $7.65 each. Oh, so this is a sale here. $7.65. So each of this sugar. I'm gonna put these back and pick up 2 of those. Okay. I'll pick up 2 of those. Yeah. Okay, so I'll pick up 2 packs. Yeah. Okay, so I'm picking up 2 packs. And then we're going to come around, get Dale to bring the cart so we can put the other things in and then head to the cashier. Yeah. Yeah. Dale, you can push this for me and we're going to go around. We're going this side. Yeah. So you see, they call me drill soldier. So this is him in the supermarket pushing a cart dressed for work, right? We don't know if anybody watching from courts might want to donate a fridge and a stove to the family, you know? Yeah, let's see what's going to happen there. Right. Okay, so you're separating up the cold and stuff. Truly, when I come to the supermarket, I walk with Dave and greet people. And that has been how it has been. So I'm going near to this to see if I have enough money. I'm not filming you, okay? Just the process. Good afternoon, ma'am. This is for the Marcia Week show. This is the Mic on the Move. And we are purchasing for a family. Yeah. How much I reach now? What's my total so far? Oh Lord, 3805. I only have 425. Okay. It's not on you. Okay, it's just on the screen. So here we go. This is a very lovely lady. And what's your name, ma'am? Huh? Wendy, very pleasant lady here at Jordan Supermarket. And we are moving along, and I am at 65, 68, 20. You think I'm going to make it? What do you all think out there? You think we're going to make it, Dale? You think we're going to make it? Let's hope we can make it. Let's hope we're going to make it, Dale. Okay, we had 101.25. My heart beating, and the chickens don't reach yet. We haven't gotten to the chickens yet, Dale. You think we're good? Dale says we're good. Yeah. So we're at 148. We're at 150.95. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we're gonna make it. I'm nervous. We have to get bags, yes. All plastic. I want you to see the screen. Yes. Hello. How you doing? Good, good, good. You enjoying your job? Good? Okay. Oh, all right. We're not even 200 yet. I think you're right, Dale. We probably will have extras. We were being very cautious. Did I miss anything, you think? We're good? They're like, we're not going back in there. No, this is good. So we're packing everything up. Everything is being packed up. We're at 239, and we have to see how that is going to go. Dale said, you're not going back inside there. I get to get to work. This will work. Oh Lordy. But Dale, you have something coming up on for the children on common entrance. Tell us, no?
So on
Speak up a little.
next Tuesday, which is the 11 plus, we're going to be providing 85 breakfast for all of the 85 students that attend Wesley Hall. So we're going to provide breakfast for those children. Because some parents might have, some parents might not have. Our focus is to provide that good start for the 11 plus exam.
Oh, nice.
So you just show up with your child going to get breakfast.
Right, and you're working through the school.
Yes, please.
So the principal and everybody is helping you.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Well, I'm 1 second, Dale. We are 311, 323, and the chickens don't come in here. 334, 60. Lord have mercy. Listen, Wendy's in it? Yeah. When do you think we're gonna make it? I have 425. Oh Lord. Wendy say yes.
We should hit about 410.
About 410? That is so close. 410. All right. So Dale, you hold this. Make sure we keep it on the food. And yeah, not on people. Okay? So we're packing the bags right now. So we are 346.
413.
We barely made it. So here am I counting the money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 450. We put an extra 25 in it, so 450. And thanks to the viewer who donated this money, and this grocery is going to go directly to the family right there. Right? We're going straight to them. So I'm going to pay Wendy now our 1383. Wendy, we made it. We did it. Good. Wonderful. Huh? You did. You did say that. What's your name? Xavier. And how long you been working here? The end of last year. Okay. And how is it going for you? Good. Where you went to school before you started here? BCC? You're at BCC now? What is this? I'm excited. What you studying? What? Geography, math, and physics, huh? You are studying geography, math, and physics? Oh my word, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. So you go to BCC with exams? Huh?
We can take a walk on the car.
Oh, with this?
Yeah.
On the trolley? But he's gonna have to walk that way? They normally do that? Oh, wait.
They walk all the way to
Oh, wait, tell me. I never know. I didn't know that kind of service, but this is big service. So when you walk like this, so wait, this is part of what the supermarket does? Oh, did you hear that? I didn't know that. You said, Dale, because you've been around these parts, you know how it goes. Yeah, he's gonna. You good? Hi. So, I tell you, man. I tell you, this is awesome. I didn't know that they do this kind of service at all. At all. Yeah, Xavier, appreciate it. Yeah. Yes, thank you. And he's doing this kind of work here in, on the week before his study week. Some of our children, when they study, not even dishes they can't wash. Because they said they're studying. I won't say who those people are. But here is Xavier, and Xavier, this is what he does.
Ice cream for the dice.
Ice cream van is there. Days and Saturdays. Okay. Hello. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays because you're going to school. Okay. Hmm. I know somebody. I need to let them know what you do. You know, Xavier. I hope that bird didn't do it on us. You think so?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Right. Not at night. Although these days, you know.
But if anything, we'll just walk the main road. But we don't really have to go at night.
Oh, okay.
Well, go out this far at night.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
mean, just to the bus terminal.
Uh-huh.
To the street terminal.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. So this is where we stop. Just come. We're not going to show the home. So this is where we stop. And Xavier, we want to say thank you for your assistance. And we had, what is this? We have 35 left back. And so that is yours.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, and keep in touch. Take
Yeah,
my
man.
number. You have a phone?
That's
236-7000. Come this side so we don't want to show the person's home. 23. 236-7000. Okay.
236-7000.
Yes.
700.
Yeah. 236-7000. Marcia Weeks. Send me a WhatsApp. All right. I want to know how you're doing. Yes. Send me a WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Marcia
Yes.
Weeks.
Yes. Okay.
That's
Thanks. All righty.
all right.
Bye bye.
Okay.
So that was me shopping, you all. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not even going to come on here and pretend, right? I'm not the shopper. I can cook, I do all of that. Although you all say I'm making cuckoo with blender. But no, seriously though. Um, I think I did well. Yes, VR, I did well, and we got, we still had some tip there for the young man, BCC students doing physics, and he's doing I forgot math and another one, and his part time job is bagging groceries, and this is the economic climate that we live in. At one time, you're not going to have BCC students who studying physics, supermarket bagging groceries. You know that, but the economic reality of us Barbadians is quite different. Marcia says she can tell I'm not used to shopping. I go shopping though, but I talk to people. I talk to people, and but I like going. It's good. Dave and I, we we like to go, but I cook. Okay, I cook the food, so that's a saving grace there. Yes. Well, the family said thank you, and we have I think we have 5 beds. Someone said they had a fridge, but the gasket is not working. If there's anybody listening who you fix refrigerators, then you call me 236-7000, or you might have a refrigerator that doesn't need fixing, that we will be able to donate. There is a fridge and a stove. Those are needed at the moment. Okay, so that they can keep their stuff cool, etc. And everybody in the home said thank you very much. So thanks to those who supported. And Miss McLean telling me the next time I'm going shopping for anything like that, she wants to go with me. That's what she wrote here. So I'm going to have to make sure. Um, she was saying, make sure you have a tip for that young man. As though it didn't happen. The video happened already, Miss McLean. Well, Miss McLean is a one kind woman, and she loves to make sure she gives tips. So she was making sure I had the tip. So we had whatever was left, which was $35, and we gave that to him. Right? He's a student. All right. So folks, we are going to go into the next segment of our program. Yes. Joshua tells me, well done, Marcia. We are going into the next segment of our program, and I'm going to ask you all. I wanted to share. I wanted to share. I wanted to share. Pause and share. Pause and share. Okay. Now, somebody said that I didn't show Felicia Dujon when she was paying her deposit, because we did a whole live on that this evening, right? So on the show, on if you go on the Marcia Week show and you look for the live, I think it was after 1 o'clock today. How many of you saw that live today? How many of you saw that live? How many of you saw the live that we did today? Right. So that was of Felicia Dujon when she looked very, very beautiful. Okay. But we didn't know about Mr. Blackman. So I didn't have the opportunity to film him. So I said I will show him tonight. Okay. All righty. All righty. Well, tonight, folks, we have an very interesting conversation that we are going to have with you this evening. Now, before we do that, I think before I have the guests come in, Dave, there's an article that I want you to put on the screen for me, please. And that's the article with the Child Care Board. It says, new sex abuse trend, a concern. While Dave gets the article up, let me read it. It says there's a new sex abuse trend, a concern. The Child Care Board is seeing a worrisome trend of sexual abuse cases where children, some between the ages of 4 to 7 years, are performing sexual acts on each other. And she said that I won't have to read all of the article. She says that it could be exposure to pornographic material, or worse yet, reports that these younger children are seeing their older siblings watch pornographic videos. So I want you to let that sink in. So Director Roseanne Richards expressed concern yesterday, saying this behavior was indicative of a lack of supervision, exposure to pornographic material, or worse yet, reports that these younger children are seeing their older siblings watching pornographic videos. Now, over the last couple of days, there have been lots of discussions about some of the videos and also music that has been produced for the Crop Over Festival. And someone might say, but what does that have to do with children? Well, the fact that there are no, I mean, it's on the internet, and children, they have phones, right? Or teenagers have phones. In some instances, they're seeing other, young people, half naked, girls with just a string in their bottom, young girls, probably 18, 19 years old. Some of it here, we showed some of it to you. So there have been a lot of discussions about that. And so yes, we know it's not new, Angel. Definitely, as I was preparing, I was saying that it's not new. But listen, because sometimes we're not listening. They're saying that they're seeing an increase in the cases. Okay, so just listen. we all know that children will want to experiment, and they and all of that, and they're curious. But the child care board is saying they're seeing an increase in the number of cases. Okay. Right. So we know it's not new, but there's an increase. All right. So that's what we're discussing. So we are talking about sexualized state sponsorship, a look at NCF's role in crop over content. So we're going to take a look at that tonight. And we have some great guests, and I'm going to ask you, make sure you share. We have with us Mr. Sean Carter, Sean Apache Carter. And Sean, you are the president of BUBBA.
Hi, good evening. Yeah.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Pleasure to be here again.
Yes, can you just tell us, because I'm always saying the C in BUBBA is a calypso, but it's the Barbados Association of Creators and
Artists.
Creatives and artists, and this is your second time around being the president, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I was the first president of the association. Was re-elected, so my first stint as president ran for 3 years, and then there were 2 other presidents in between there, and I am back as the president of BUBBA again.
Yes. And what does BUBBA do? Can you give us in a nutshell?
Sure. So BUBBA does several things. There's several arms of BUBBA. The first one I will mention, because it's very important, because we've seen throughout the years where entertainers will be very popular, we've seen on stage, and everybody thinks, they say all that glitter is not gold. And you would see that when a lot of entertainers, when they get sick, when there's a house fire, when there's some form of emergency crisis, tragedy,
yes,
then there's a need then for artists to come together and hold a benefit concert.
Correct.
From the first year as president of BUBBA, one of the things that we started was what we call the benevolent fund. So we now have a tribute concert that feeds in to the benevolent fund. So that's the BUBBA, exactly. This what you're seeing here on the screen is our benevolent concert for this year. And each year what we do is that we pay tribute to a cultural icon. So the first persons that were honored was Richard Stout and the Mighty Grainer. Then last year it was Jennifer Seeley, and our friend Betty West.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yes. So it's not just limited to singers. It's not just limited to artists, as you see Betty West, Jennifer Seeley, as it relates to dance, Betty West, as it relates to being a stalwart in crop over, as it relates to the bands and being one of the top designers. I think she won a lot of the awards last year as well. This year, we have two iconic Barbadians, Shirley Stewart, famous for the song Walk Away from Love, and Myrna Nels, the theater arts practitioner. Myrna Nels has worn many hats.
Yes.
And we think that these 2 people are deserving of BUBBA paying tribute to them.
And that's going to be on May 31st. Well, let me just congratulate BUBBA for the great work that you're doing. And as you said, it's not just Calypsonians, and you're looking after the whole man, the whole person. But let me go ahead and welcome Ross. Ross to the Marcia Week show. Welcome, Ross. Good night.
Hey, good night, man. Great to be here.
Good night. And Ross, you are an artist.
Yes, please.
Ross, so tell us what do you do? You dance? You do ballet? What do you do?
No, please. I am a Calypsonian. I'm a soca artist. I just love and do music in general. So I'm an artist all around.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Dave, let's just hear a little bit of Ross here.
We need to hold up each other. Black and white must come together. No matter who we all are one blood. There's no why we can't show love. There's no other way that we can exist. We can't go on taking life like this. I say we all in this together. It's all for one and one for all.
Wonderful. And you know what? This is the good thing about this. Thanks, Dave. The good thing about this is we have lyrics that we can actually sing. And it sounds like a song. Well, let me very, very good, Ross. And I know your mom and dad. Right. So everybody out there, this is Danielle's son. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And you can see it all over his face. And Mr. Richard, because you see, I can't call him that other name. He tells me don't call him that other name.
Richard Antonio.
Richard Antonio, and he's the one that talks about the song called, we play it a lot on here, Dave, called In Charge. How does it go? Who's guarding the guard? Who's guarding the guard? So that's his son, all right? And so his offspring is here. Ross. Wonderful.
Yes,
well, we have without welcome, Ross. We have with us also Danielle Boyce. So Danielle, can I put you in the studio now? Okay, wonderful. Hi, Danielle. Good evening. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, Danielle, I'm sure that the viewers remember you, but just tell them a little bit of how you are involved in the creative arts. What do you do?
Oh yeah, most prominently, I'm a film director, so I direct films, whether that's feature length, short films, TV shows, and in the music space, I direct music videos across dancehall and the soca genre.
Yes, and I know that you do music videos, for artists all throughout the Caribbean region.
Yes,
And yes, and you do, I mean, excellent work in terms of your the technical stuff. Very good.
thank you.
Now I am sure, unless you live under a rock, everybody, all three of you on this panel this evening, you would have heard the discussions, you would have seen King Bubba, his video. You've seen Faith's video and her song. And then I know that Danielle, you sent me some others as well that's out there, right? So this is Dave was just showing you a little bit of one of Danielle's films. Okay, that yes. So that's one of his films there, Danielle Boyce. Well, there's a lot of discussion that's happening, gentlemen. And the first question I want to pose here, Sean, I'll put this to you because you're the president of BACA, right? How do you respond to claims that the Crapova content has been overly sexualized? How do you respond to that?
I think for years now, Marcia, I don't think it's limited to Crop-Over. I think it's a societal problem issue. When you look at marketing as a whole for a very long time now, at least the last 15 to 20 years, if you're selling a car, there must be a woman in a bikini, breasts must be showing, legs must be showing, you know what I mean? So there's been a over-sexualizing in most of the marketing arenas, I would say. As it relates to Crop-Over, I remember there was a phase where everything was jump on wave.
Yes.
And then after that, following that, everything was bumper. So it started with the bumper songs, and then it moved from the bumper songs to the rum songs. And then the rum songs was tying in then to the juking song. So we had the bumper trend. Then we had the rum songs at the same time. Everything was juk. Lyric would tell you about juking down the place. So when you get songs like that, you saw the videos that were corresponding, even to the bumper songs. The bumper songs was always in more recent times you would hear people making reference to the 630 dance, and you would see the women bending over and stuff like that. But even if you look back at some of the bumper songs, you would see similar dances, similar postures by females It started with female dancers, but then female artists were then doing the same thing. It's very interesting when I think of songs like "Woman" by Adanasia. At that point in time, um, and then you had Queen Rita who was saying, "Woman, respect yourself." So you had a time where if certain songs were sung, female artists would push back against these type of lyrics, these type of
Mm,
songs. And
okay.
we've come full circle now, where female artists, as you said, Faith Calendar is one of the artists under the spotlight right now. It's not just King Bubba, but for several years now, and it's not just Faith alone. There's several female soca artists that will be saying things a lot worse about themselves, or encouraging men to do a lot worse things to them than men would have ever sung about it before in the past. So you're seeing definitely this the before you again, if you look back at Mighty Grainer, the King of the Road, had the most road march songs. You look at his song, there's always a storyline that was a thing of, I gotta say no, it was a thing of the past, because we moved
Right.
away from telling stories and story lanes, like I said, to jump a wave, bumper, jump, rum, and basically as you are asking, where soca songs have become very much sexualized.
Right. So I love the fact that you and and I can see the progression as you were speaking. I was following. So let me go to Ross. Ross, you
Definitely.
are you're the youngest one among us all here.
Yes,
You
please.
know, and then me. So, but Ross, I
Yes,
mean,
please.
as a young man, right?
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you how old you are?
Just turned 23.
Just turned 23. Oh my goodness. So Ross, you're 23. Do you really believe that some of the content is a bit over sexualized? The content that's coming out of crop over? Do you think so?
Um, it is in a way over sexualized, but for me, I can see it comfortably that over the years of me growing up, there has always been some form of sexualized content in music. Um, because I was born in the early 2000s, I was born in, as Apache said, the jump and wave, bend over, push back era of soca,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is what I was really like acclimated to. So
Mm-hmm.
it for me is it wouldn't seem like over sexualized because this is what I've been hearing all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also the situation with King Baba and Faith. I only recently heard King Baba's song. I heard Faith's song earlier because of the whole Guyana situation. But with King Baba's song, I wasn't really expecting that, and I could understand where the outrage is coming from.
Okay. So hold a minute. So you said you heard the song. Did you see the video?
Yes, I saw the video recently. Yes.
Yes, and you heard. And so why you said you were not, even though you said from you were a child. I mean, and I want everybody to listen, because this is what I love, the honesty of young people, because we're on here acting all, and he said, this was from when I was a child, the thing was over
Yeah.
sexualized till now. No, but what about this that starts that you just said you weren't expecting it? What about this particular
Um.
stuff?
For for
Think
me,
about
for me, growing up hearing King Baba, I already know what to expect. Jump and wave, rum, um, put up your hand, walk up, skin. I know to expect that from King Baba, but with this one, it was a lot more forward. If I,
when you
for
say
lack of
forward, tell me, I want you to spell it out. When you say forward,
um,
what do you mean?
with the music that he usually puts out is like subliminals. He doesn't usually just put it
Ah.
out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing the video and hearing the lyrics and like really like listening to it, I was like a little confused as to why it needed to go there.
At
Um,
23, you felt a little confused.
yeah,
Well,
I felt a little confused. but then this is also what is being asked of from the artists by
Oh,
DJs,
by the DJs.
promoters,
You hold it right
etc.
there. Let me go to, we are coming back to you. I'm coming back, and I want us to be very honest on here tonight and say what we really think. And I think it's very, very important that we do. Now, Daniel, I know Daniel is driving, but we can still see you, Daniel. Thank you for the
Mhm.
sacrifice.
No
Um,
problem.
so Daniel, I want to ask you the same thing. Daniel,
Sure.
you're a little older than Ross, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think about 9 years, 9 years
nine
older.
9 years older.
Mhm.
And would you say that that the crop over content is over sexualized generally, or just a part of it? What do you think?
I think I would say it's overly sexualized. But there were always sexual references within the music, right? And it, like
Hmm.
having sexual undertones in the music is not a surprise. But there used to be nuance, they would double entendres, they would hide it, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? There was nuance to how they brought across the lyrics, right?
Hmm.
That nuance is gone right out the door. They're telling you exactly how they feel, what they want, how they want to. It's gross. At one point I remember, and it wasn't just soca music. I would listen to artists like Usher, Nelly, Shaggy when I was, a kid, and I would sing the songs. And it was only as I got older I realized what I was singing about. They would mask it behind artistry and creativity. Now it just seems as though they're being, raucous for being raucous sake, and just trying to get some kind of shock value, or I don't know. To me, the artistry's gone out the door.
So you're a millennial, you're a young man.
Hmm.
You are saying looking at, because I thought, I would think, I would think, Daniel, as a young man, this is the kind of video that you would
No,
like to
no,
see. I'm being honest too.
no,
I would
no,
think
no,
that,
no.
no, no, this is not. Listen, Ross, I'm stereotyping the guys. I would think that you and Ross would love this kind, watching this kind of video. I don't understand. You're saying it's gross, Daniel. I mean, I don't understand that.
For me, it's time and place. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you could watch a soca music video, and you could watch it in public. I couldn't put
Mm,
that video
Exactly.
on my phone in public. It's almost like softcore pornography, in my
Yeah.
opinion, at least.
Correct. Agree.
It's just, it's too much.
Um,
It's too much for me.
for me
Ross,
though,
Ross. Mm-hmm.
yeah, for me, I will say that the content of the video, like the women dancing, etc. This isn't something that's necessarily new. It is happened in a lot of big artists videos such as Marshall, Lyric. These are the stuff that the young ladies do in the dances because this is what they are asked to do.
By
So
whom? Who is asking them to do it,
by
Ross?
the art, obviously by the artists, by the producers, not necessarily producers, but the video directors. Sorry, the video directors, etc. Because whoever shot the video obviously knew what King Bubba wanted, what Trey Breezy wanted, and they helped them to execute that vision.
Mm,
So, although there is fault at the artist, it's not all at the artist
mm,
because the videographer also never said no, I ain't shooting this.
mm. Interesting. So the video, no, but Daniel, hold a minute there, Sean, because Daniel is shake. Daniel has done a couple of. Give me, what's the name of the guy in Jamaica? It's not Vibes Cartel.
Which
You
one,
did
Alkaline? Well, I've done some
Alkaline.
stuff for
I've
Vibes
seen.
too.
Huh?
I've done some stuff for Vibes as well. I did some stuff for Alkaline, and I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that take wholeheartedly.
What are you
Wholeheartedly.
disagreeing with? What are you disagreeing
That
with?
that that the point that the artist is not entirely to blame, right? I'll add some nuance to that, right? So we most recently we did a video with Alison Hines last year, right? Which is one of the most popular soca music videos to come out of Barbados in quite some time. I think as it stands, we've got 610,000 views on that. Alison and myself were up for Caribbean Music Video of the Year Award in New York at the Caribbean Music Awards. That's been recognized as a fantastic video. You can play that video in front of your kids. You can play that in front of your mother. You're not gonna see
What is it?
any
What is it?
underwear.
What is it?
It's called Born with It.
Born with it. Born with it. Okay, so Dave,
It's called
look at
Born
it
with
and
It.
see if we can play it. But go
You'll
ahead.
see, you'll see, you'll see no, skimpy underwear. There's dancing in it. There's dancing in it for sure, but there's no focus on women's behind being out. It's a wonderful video. It's got culture in it and it's been clean. And
Mm,
the thing about that is, so I had the opportunity to pitch for that video, and my concept was clean, and we won it. But there's a part of this that you have to consider. Who shot that video for King Bubba and Trey Breezy? How do you know that that just wasn't one of their friends with a cell phone, in the truck? That happens a lot in the industry, right? It doesn't have to be a video director shooting that. But then there's also the pressure from the artist as well, because all right, as a video director, I want to feed my family. So if I tell the artist, okay, I don't want to shoot softcore pornography, and he says, all right, no problem. I'll get my friend to shoot that with a cell phone and pay him instead. Is the artist not to blame for that though? Because ultimately they have a massive say in the direction of their visuals, right? At the end of the day, the artist has to okay that. I can put forward a concept, I can put forward my idea, but the artist has to be the one to say, you know what, yep, I like that, or nope, I don't like that. Me as a video director is just a suggestion. At the end of the day, the artist makes the final decision.
Sean, what do you say? What do you say on that? I mean, Ross is introducing an interesting point here that basically is what probably the producer wants, what the video director wants, and don't put it all on the
The
artist.
artist.
What are you saying, Dave?
Well, I would have to agree with Danielle on this one. As an artist, when I go into the studio to record my song, I work with producers that I trust their opinion, but at the end of the day, I have the final say as the artist. And likewise, when I would have done music videos, again, as the artist, as long as the artist is the one who is the executive producer, then you dictate what happens. You work with a director, film music video director that you trust, but at the end of the day, as the artist, you have the final say. That's just how it is. Like I said, especially if you're the executive producer, if you're the person who is shelling out the money.
Yes. Dave, just play a little bit. We're hoping that we're not going to see. I don't know, family, if you need to move the kids. Daniel says no. Just a little bit, and then we go to Ross.
It's the Cooper and the Queen of Soca, and this one is the answer. Oh Lord,
my great grandmother passed it down. My great grandmother passed it down. My mother gets it from my granny, and mommy gave it to me. Cause we was born with it, born with it. West Indian girls was born with it. Born to walk up the big bam bam, stick it, drop it, and tremble. Cause we was born with it, born with it. Caribbean girls was born with it. Born to wind up the big bam bam, born to make it look simple. You want to know how me bump I get so broad? Me mother give me this for that, I thank God. This thing here real, man. This is
all right. Yeah. But I can see what you mean. It can be funny. It can, and the truth is that Black women are blessed. We are endowed. A lot of people doing all kinds of things, which we're going to talk about Black women at the end of this whole thing. But we were all blessed. It's something that's passed on. It's a fact. It's what it is. So I can understand that. But Ross.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Do you think, Ross, that Barbadians, we should be as outraged as we were about, gun violence? You remember, you would have been probably about 20, a couple years back during COVID, or probably about 18. when there was a big uproar in Barbados over Little Rick and Peter Ram when they were on the Trojan Rhythm. You remember that? And
Yeah, I remember
they
that.
were pushing out the gun lyrics, and people were, outraged, and they were told they had to apologize, and so on. Do you think as a country we should be as outraged about the over sexualizing over sexualized content in the in soca as we are about gun and violence in the music?
Um, I necessarily go to the point where I say everybody has their opinions, and everyone doesn't agree on everything.
Mm-hmm.
The way how we as a people handle certain situations, I feel like we could handle them a lot better.
Explain.
Um, like with the same Trojan rhythm incident. Um, a lot of these songs that were out on it were, yes, they were violent, but these are the things that you hearing playing in parties. You hearing the younger folks. They aren't necessarily reaching for
Mainstream.
the age, right. So they're going for a younger demographic when they put out these songs, and the older demographic take it out of, like, they don't take it well at all, because this is not what they are used to. They are used to more sensible music for,
More
you know.
sensible.
No,
So
no, we being real. We being
yeah,
real
yeah.
is the truth of the matter is not smart to go and sing about how much guns you have and then expect not to be scrutinized about it. Is not smart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the older generation do get outraged a lot, because they are used to doing and seeing a certain level of um respect put out there for the country, etc.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they
So
have they have they have stuff to look back on, like red plastic bag. They have
ah.
Brainer, etc. And these people have never put out anything like this, and they are big. So I think that is where the older generation is coming from when they say, like, you don't need to over sexualize things. You don't need to put
Mm-hmm.
um gang violence, etc. into a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But then from my generation's point of view,
Mm-hmm.
this is what they grew up on, and this is what they're like, you know.
So you're saying
So,
your generation grew up on gun music and violent
like,
music and
we,
and
we
and,
grew up on
and
Movado and Vibes Cartel, Alkaline, as um the guy there said. We
Mhm.
also grew up on a like Squash. These sort of people. These songs that they put out are a lot of gun music. K-Man 6, a guy from Trinidad that got shot when he left Barbados for a show. He got back to the island, and right out the airport he was shot. And all of his friends died, and he got away. This is what they live. We in Barbados don't necessarily, the artists that we have don't necessarily go through that, or I should say I don't see them going through it. So is not going to seem like it's coming from an authentic place, because they're just seeing other people doing it, and they feel like
Okay.
they're getting through off of this, so this is what I'm gonna do.
Mm.
You know?
So this is interesting, Sean, because Ross is saying that really this is a music that they grew up on. He's now 23, and he said, well, all his life, this is a music that they like. They like the gun music. I think though that he thinks that the Ross, is it fair to say you think the King Bubba is pushing it a bit too far? Are
Yeah.
you saying right?
In
You
my in
think
my
it,
opinion.
in your opinion, at 23, think that, but he's saying really, why would he be outraged about the gun music? Because he grew up on it. You didn't grow up on it, Sean. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I didn't grow up with these artists. I didn't have Alkaline when I was a youngster. I didn't have Movado. I didn't have Vibes, but we had Bounty Killer. You know, when you listen to Vibes Cartel, you listen to Movado, you hear the influence that Bounty Killer had on them. They had Ninja Man in my time, so it was Ninja Man. Like I said, Bounty Killer. Even though Beanie Man was quite versatile, Beanie Man has some gun tunes as well. All the artists in that particular every era have,
Mm.
especially in dancehall, and you know that that's my background. I would have done gun songs as well, and to 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 be trending at the time. You didn't use the word trending back then,
To be
you know,
trending.
to be
And
trending.
that's
Yeah.
what Ross is talking about. But go ahead.
Um, but you know, I on one hand I agree with Ross, but there's a wide cross section of young people that haven't drunk the Kool Aid. You know what I mean? So there's a wide cross section of people that drink the Kool Aid, and that's what they like. They always say, people like what they know, and that's why DJs on radio stations have a huge responsibility. DJs in the fats, DJs in the parties have a huge responsibility. We would try to bring, as artists, we would try to bring the excuse. We never ask anybody to be their role model. But the fact of the matter is that when you are a public figure, even yourself, Marcia, you're a public figure now because of this program. So there's a sense of responsibility that we have to carry as artists, whether we are actors, actress, whether we are like Danielle, who is into film, whether you're artists like me, artists like Ross. As artists, we have there should be, I should say, a sense of social responsibility. So just how corporate Barbados should have a sense of social responsibility where they give back as far as the money that they're making, and they sponsor football, they sponsor cricket, they sponsor schools and different events like that.
Mm-hmm.
For us as artists, we have to be socially responsible as well. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at gun violent songs, when you look at domestic violent songs, when you look at overly sexualized songs, it affects everybody. I don't care what walk of life you're from. Why? Let me explain. If you have kids killing kids, as we are seeing now in Barbados, right? You got children killing children, boys killing boys, because at the end of the day, that's what they are. They're boys killing boys. What that does, as we heard just last week from the QEH hospital, it puts a strain on the hospital. It puts a strain on the system. If then to respond to this, to the excessive stabbings that we have, the excessive shootings that we have, and not even talking about the homicides, just the amount of shootings that you don't even hear on the radio in the news, but you hear on the street. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody who was on the street, they will know about the amount of shootings that you don't even hear on or see them. You don't see them in the paper. You don't hear them on Starcom News Network in the afternoon. But the hospital, especially accident and emergency, they experience the overload of this culture. Now, there's from the get go,
Yeah.
music has always been tied to culture.
Top
Wherever
music.
there's a culture, music has been tied to it. Music is like the gasoline that fuels the vehicle.
Mm.
Music fuels it. So, like I said on
Okay.
this program before, there was a subculture that was identified, I would say, going as far back as 10 years. This subculture was starting to emerge. And when you don't say anything, then the subculture surfaces to the top
So,
and it
top,
becomes the
yeah,
culture.
yeah, you
And
said that.
then
That's pretty profound. Yeah, you said that before.
and then that gives kudos or credits to what Ross is saying. When it's emerging and you don't say anything, then you have a generation that's what they're exposed to. Having said that, the as it relates now to the over sexualized music, as it relates to soca, as it relates to dancehall as well, because it's not just limited to soca, as Daniel was saying, it's across all the genres as well. It's not limited to the Caribbean either. But when you have then over sexualized music, then what you have is children getting children. So they're not
Yeah.
mature enough to be parents. They're not
Mm-hmm.
in a financially stable position to be able to support these children. So
Yeah.
again, what does it do? It puts strain on the system. When
On
I
the
say
whole
the
system.
system,
But we're going to get there. We're going to get there because
yeah,
we're going to get there because that's really where we're going, right? So just hang on there, Mr. Carter. Let me go to Daniel. Daniel, do you? I mean, there's a lot of cry about the level of violence in the song. Some of the things that I read, I tell you, I don't know. I mean, we're in different generation, but I'm like, some of the Trinidad music and thing. I'm like, oh my God, it's Russ. I scared. I scared. Just reading the lyrics, Daniel. But I realize there's a lot more outrage over that than the the soft porn that we're seeing in soca music, whether listening to it or viewing it. Should the outrage be similar, Danielle?
I believe the outrage should be similar. Me personally, and I think I've said this a few times on this program. I've said that we criticize and we outcry and we bring down the dancehall music because of the gun violence in it, but we don't look at the soca music and speak about the the sexual content of the music. And it's not just music. Look at the crop over costumes. I mean, come on, the women are essentially naked now. You know what I mean? So
But why?
it's
But why are you concerned about that? Why should we be concerned about that? If we think of, I'm think about the gun music. I can see, listen to me, listen to Trinidad music or
Mhm,
dancehall music,
mhm.
dancehall lyrics. I mean, I feel that that could influence a young person to pick up a gun. I mean, Ross might think differently, but somebody might say, but it's just a little, it's just women
Is
and
it?
and
Is
and
it though? Is
oh,
it because
but why should we
does
be
that
so concerned? Why?
does that not encourage our children to try to replicate that behavior? Does that
Exactly.
not increase the possibility of that? There's one thing that I see, right, that drives me insane when it comes to Kaduma. And so you would have a grown woman dancing, right? Walking up, whatever it is. And people would encourage a little boy to dance behind her. God forbid a grown man does that behind a little girl. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same public outcry that we should have when a grown man does that behind a young girl, we should have that when a young boy is behind a grown woman. It's the same thing. So regularly we have a double standard, right? If we can see that there's something wrong with a grown man replicating that kind of behavior on a little girl, we got to protect our little boys too. And I feel like that needs to extend to
Agree.
the music. We can't be listening to the radio and overtly having sexualized lyrics, man. Like, you play the radio and bringing your kids home from school and stuff, and it's a gamble, it's a risk. You know what I mean? Because, they're not trying to hide the sexual content in the music. So
Mm,
that's for me, that's infiltrating our kids' minds and encouraging
mhm,
them to go to school and try stuff. In my opinion, at least.
mhm. Well, I mean, the child care board is saying that they're seeing an increase, Ross. They're seeing an increase in the numbers of children from 7 years old who are doing a lot of, it seems to the adults that they're watching porn. They're seeing a trend of sexual abuse cases where children performing sexual acts on other children. Now, I
Uh-huh.
know, as we've said, Ross, that we know that this happened all the time, but the child care board is saying that they're seeing an increase. Do you, I mean, would you ever think that it could be correlated or connected to the videos that the kids are watching or the
I
music?
I am not saying that it's not correlated, that
Mm-hmm,
is not tied together, but we also have to look at the fact that this is a digital generation. You know,
mm-hmm,
every time the child cry, you can put a phone in their hand. Every time the child like upset, you can put a phone. If they're doing too much, you can put a phone or a tablet in their hand. They're
mm-hmm,
obviously going to find some stuff. You can see pop-ups coming up. Pop-ups are not. You can't stop pop-ups. Most of the pop-ups that come up are sexual content. You know, if I one or two for Alibaba or but it's always sexual content. So you can't as I was saying, you can't fully put the blame on the music. The music has its part to play, yes, but
mm-hmm,
it's also the internet, the technology, etc. So saying that is all the music, as all the videos is not fully right. I sorry, I just can't agree with that part.
mm-hmm,
Uh, there are multiple factors. Music is as part of that, but it's not as big of a
mm-hmm.
factor as the use of the digital devices.
Mm-hmm. 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 So you're saying, and listen, parents, guys, listen Listen, because we have all different ages on here. Okay, it's important to listen. So you're. Hmm. But let me ask you, as an artist, do you feel pressured? You're 23 years old. You sing bashment soca,
No, just sweet soca.
just sweet soca. Why you don't like bashment?
Not that I don't like Bashman, it's just not for me. I
You
can listen
don't.
to it. I just
You
it's not
sing
for me
when
to
you
perform. I'm a singer.
right. So you sing, right? I see what you're saying. You sing, Okay, all right. But do you feel, Ross, at any point, do you feel pressured to be provocative in order to compete or to stay relevant? Like when you sit down to write, you write your own music.
Yes, please.
Wow, I tell you, man, awesome. So do you ever feel like, boy, for this music to really go anywhere, and for me to be competitive, I need to be a bit more provocative in there, in my with my lyrics. I need to
Yeah,
do
always,
always.
always.
talk
So,
to me
but
talk to me
with
about
that
that process.
situation, like
Uh-huh.
last year, I wrote a song named "Desperate." Right,
Hmm.
"Desperate" was a song based on a man that's trying to convince his girlfriend, his wife, that he did not cheat. This is my friend that had my phone and did this. I was trying to create a storyline, right? I find that the song in my head, I know this song is a great song, right? I believe in this song, but when I have to compete with the other topics
Mm.
and the other like songs out there that are speaking about certain stuff,
Like what?
there
Certain
my
stuff. Talk to
generation,
me. Talk to me.
my gen
Certain stuff.
my generation is more going to lean towards the King Bubbas and the Jaguars, etc. Whereas to I grew up on Trinidadian Carnival and stuff, so I listen to a lot of Trini soca, a lot of
Mhm.
Grenadian soca, Saint Lucian, etc. Um, my song, I find that as hard as I was pushing my song, they didn't want to hear it, but I still keep pushing it because it's mine and I believe in this, and I think this is a great product and this is what I want to put forward.
Mm.
Um, it's obvious. No, no, you have to try to be smart and how you write your lyrics so that people can understand and they don't get lost, right? But I feel like the more thought that gets put into a song, the less people like it, and that's something that I'm
Mm.
seeing a lot of.
Wow, that is deep. The less thought you put in your song, the you believe the more the song is liked. So that interesting. So your deep song here, calling desperate, and you're trying, probably trying to teach some morals and so on in the song. You found that people were not too interested. They want more of the King Bubbas. But so let me ask. Let me Daniel. Do you believe that you work with artists? You're the videographer. Do you believe that artists are feeling pressured by society
No,
to be provocative in order to compete and to stay relevant?
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like the artists are lazy and it's a lack of creativity
Thank you.
because holistically, Bash Masoka is actually, boy, in my opinion, I feel like Bash Masoka is a lazy genre. It's just, girls shake, bumper down to the ground over and over, some, just repeating just raucousness. But then if you look at one of the biggest soca songs that came out recently, Kes, Savannah Grass, that's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful song.
Yeah.
And that's speaking of celebration. That's speaking of Trinidadian people coming together and celebrating, crossing the stage, crossing the Savannah Grass. A fantastic song. And you can listen to that around your kids. It's beautiful. And that was a big song down here too. And that song isn't crass or
But
lewd
hold a
or
minute. Do
raucous.
you know that song, Ross?
Yeah, I know that song.
And you like that song?
Yeah, I love that song.
You love that song, even though so the point he's making then, it's that the song is saying that the whole family could sing the song. Dave, I'm not sure. I wonder if we could play that one. If you tell us the
It's
name of
clean.
it.
It's clean. It's
Yeah,
Savannah Grass by
Savannah
Kess.
Grass. Dave, see if you find it, and let's listen to a little because we want to understand. You know,
It's
Sean.
clean. Hmm.
If you know, yeah, then you know, yeah. We all at the ground, yeah. We all in it down, yeah. We up on the story. It's about a Juve morning. Everybody coming in. We ready to go, yeah. We gon' make them jump. We gon' make them turn up. We gon' make them whine. We gon' make them free up. It's different than Bacchanal. In this big botanical, this carnival, I want you to find your way. Everybody on stage, Colorado. If you're coming down from the mountain, Colorado. When the rhythm beats in tongue, see me jumping on the Savannah grass, the Savannah grass. You could see it already, but
Okay, I realize I've heard it before. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, but like, I mean, when you think of that, I love that because I love soca, and I've been telling people, I tell people, Ross, I love bashment soca. Now they go crazy when I say that. They're like, I love the beat, I love the music of it, right? And I think that we can do a whole lot with that's a whole nother show. But like that song, I love that song. I love that song.
Yeah,
You
and it's
know,
Yeah,
and
clean.
a lot of people like it. A lot of people like it.
It's clean.
This is just the reality for most of Trinidad. Because if you
But
look
that's
at
my
last
point.
year,
It's in
the
Barbados
song
too.
that won, the song that won the road march in Trinidad was from Michael
Mikael
Teja,
Teja. Hmm.
right? Michael Teja. All of these songs that
Clean.
basically get big over there have substance. Like
True.
last year, we saw a glimpse of that with Bruce Lee Almighty's
Hmm.
um,
Combat Carnival.
Tomorrow.
Hmm.
That song is where I feel like we should have been ever since.
mm.
And that's my point. The music
Okay,
doesn't
so
have to
are
be
you
dirty.
agreeing,
It doesn't
Daniel?
have to be nasty.
Let me ask Ross and Sean this.
Hmm.
Let's go to Sean. Sean, you agree that it is laziness on the part of the artists, that it's not, because my question was, are do they have to do this in order to please to be relevant, they have to put the sexually provocative content. And Daniel said they're lazy because look at this song by Kess that everybody loved, even Russ loved the song, right? And Russ is 23. So you think it's laziness, Sean?
I think Daniel hit the nail on the head. It is absolute laziness and a lack of creativity. I'm one of the persons when a couple of years ago when the NCF was looking to introduce bashment to the junior monarch, I was one of the persons who supported it. And I received a lot of licks because people think that bashment has to be lewd and crude and vulgar. I could tell you that myself and Kid Sight for sure. I can't speak for other artists from older generations, but we can demonstrate to the entire island, to the entire region, that bashment is a genre. Bashment does not have to be everything raw and lewd and crude, because that's the easiest thing to do, right? That is the easiest thing to do. It's the laziest way to write a song. It's very repetitive. Everything is jump down, jump down, jump down, jump down, jump down. I mean, all the songs have the same topic, the same themes. Show me any other genre where that happens. It doesn't. And this song that on the screen, again, you have a story, you have lyrics, you have melody. That's why Boosty Almighty song took off. That's why Cass song Savannah Grass took off. Because a steel pan could start to play these tunes, and you could hear the movement, you could hear the melody, people would start to sway. When you listen to the lyrics of the song, you could actually picture the activities that the artists are singing. So all it takes is a little more time, a little more work, a little more creativity. So I agree, the artists are lazy, absolutely lazy. Some of them
Um,
also are insecure as artists. They don't have good managers, so they don't have a brand identity. So there's no
Okay.
brand consistency. So whatever is happening, they jump on that bandwagon, and then people tell me that this person is a good artist manager, and this person. We have very few good artist managers in Barbados. We have booking
Mm-hmm.
agents that are posing as artist managers, and that is a big part of the problem as well.
Yes. Well, someone is saying here that Kes gone international, so it did not inhibit him. He performed those songs on American morning TV shows, etc. So Ross, what is that telling us about what the people really want?
Um,
Dave, could you
sorry,
just turn off a little bit? We're gonna play it.
sorry,
Just turn it up a little bit.
really
Thanks.
back. What was the question again?
No, I was saying that this viewer says that Kes is gone now internationals, so it did not inhibit him, to sing about, not sing about, you know,
Savannah
um,
Ross.
right. He did
Ken
Savannah
Howard.
Grass, and it went,
Mhm.
and he performed those songs on American morning TV
Yeah,
shows and so on. So, is it
Uh,
that?
that has to do, I think, a lot with management as well.
correct.
So, as Patty said, there's a lot of artists
Right,
artists
there's a
promote.
noise in the background. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Okay, yeah, go ahead, please. Uh-huh.
There's a lot of promoters or booking agents
Mhm.
that are passed off as managers because of who they know.
Mm,
Um, I would say for me in my experiences coming up through the ranks through junior minor etc. Always wanted to be a part of a soca show, but never got that opportunity. It only came like during COVID. I had one opportunity, and that was my last year ever for being a junior, and that's where in this
mhm.
came from. I feel like everyone in that competition had a chance to write something that they felt was of substance and could help change people or change the narrative or help people get out of the depressive state that COVID had us in.
Mhm.
We
Mm.
If you ask any of the juniors from the first junior soccer monarch, they will tell you everybody like every time we talk, everybody was saying like I feel like we just need to give everybody a reason to be happy again. You know,
Oh,
that's where
Mhm.
and this came from, and that was a big shout to
what's
Creedy.
the name of it?
Pardon?
What was the name of the song you did?
No, the one that you played at the beginning and this together.
In this thing, right? Yes, and a lot of people. I went online and realized people loved it. People
Yeah.
loved your song, and you weren't, doing sexually explicit lyrics. But let's move the conversation along. And back. I want to start with Ross on this. Ross, do you apply to the NCF for funding for your songs, whether to produce them, or to do videos?
I tried.
You
I tried.
tried. Okay, you
Um,
say you tried, and what happened?
the the thing is that I never got through.
Mm.
So
You never got through. So okay, that's interesting. Dave just put, but I don't know if Dave could find. I'm going to get back to you, but some songs I showed Wednesday that were sponsored by the NCF. Just have those lined up for me. But continue, Ross. Continue.
I obviously have to come out of pocket for a lot of things and a lot of ideas, and that's why I feel so strongly about my music because I am the one that's putting the backing behind myself, and my dad also does production and stuff, so he has a hand in what and how I write and the songs I put out. So
Mm-hmm.
I write and I sing these sort of songs is because I always came up under him to back in our time, kids show, etc. And I saw how he did his thing and how he wrote his songs, and this is how I was taught. So this is how I can try to do it myself, but I can try to put my own spin on it. So it's not Ian Rusty Jr. or
Yeah,
sorry,
it's Ross
um Richard Antonio Jr.
Junior.
That is that. So
Yes.
I now have to create my own identity
Yes.
from things. So I try. I try to stray away from people locking me into Donella or Russellson, because that can help. It can also hinder.
Yes.
So
Yes.
people
Agree.
a box, and I don't want to be in that box. I want to be able to express myself and be my own artist.
Yes, very well said. Oh my goodness, that is
Mhm.
some level of maturity there. But you said something. He said something very important there, Sean
Mhm.
and Daniel. That I was asking about the if he ever submitted or asked for funding from the NCF, and he said he never got one, never got any help from the NCF. This is his lovely mom. They're always put together when she goes on a stage. I literally wait to see her outfits. I'm sorry. I wait because I mean she's a wonderful looking black woman, and she carries herself with class and dignity. That's a lady right there. But when you think about that, Sean, think about, oh, it's Daniel. I think it's Daniel. Daniel, this young man has just said that how when COVID, he sat down and he was trying to find songs to write songs. He and his friends write songs that will lift up people and make them happy. And oh,
Trouble
okay,
in tongue when we
okay, I think it started too early. Sorry about that, but and yet still, I mean, they know the brand that Ross has. Ross's brand is clean.
Yeah.
Ross, when you go online and you check Ross's song, I check you out in a Ross. Ross's songs are clean, very well done, nicely arranged because his father is like top tops, right? But he's saying he never got funding. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that, Daniel?
Music probably too clean. You probably gotta sing some Bashment Soca if you want funding,
See, yeah, that's
unfortunately.
where the question came in. If I feel pressured to bend to the norms of the music
Yeah.
industry.
Obviously, I've been a little sarcastic, man, but realistically,
Yeah.
they got a new initiative called the Cultural Expansion Program,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I
Yeah,
think,
I hear
Marcy,
about
we had this discussion a couple days ago, I believe, where most of the videos, I think all of the videos that they've put out have been in that same Bashment Soca kind of arena. They're instructing the girls to do XYZ and go down to the ground and all this stuff. And this is it's the funding comes from a private the funding comes from the private sector, but the government, through the cultural expansion program, manages the allocation of said funding, right? And artists like Sprinkles, if you guys know who Sprinkles is,
Hmm.
they put money in her video. Master Cerny, they put money in his video. Um, who else? I can't remember all the links off the top of my head, but Marcel would have sent them to you guys. And the songs across, they're just exactly like King Bubba's and Trey
Yeah.
Breezy's and Faith's and all of those.
Yeah.
And they got the funding quite easily. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
sarcastically, I'm saying you might have to, jump on the bandwagon. But even though
And
I'm being sarcastic, I might be being a bit realistic too.
being realistic. Well, if Dave, we had some on the here with the cultural expansion on, and I'm not sure if Ross has seen these or Sean have seen these. These were actually because it has the branding of the cultural expansion program, which is under the NCF
Yeah.
and or the Ministry
Very
of
new
Culture.
initiative too.
And these songs. So guys, if you have children right now, just send them into another room, right, for a couple seconds because of what we're going to show. Go ahead, Dave. You seen this one, Ross?
Yeah, I seen them.
boss attorney.
Oh my gosh, this is lit. Blues a pit. I'm that buns like sun.
Okay, all right. Okay, Dave. So, Ross laughing. Ross, now you had Ross, Ross. You didn't get any funding. Those people got funding though.
Yeah. They did get funding. We had a couple friends that went and they got through with their funding as well. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it is that my file got lost or something. I will continue to try.
That your what?
My file got lost or something. I will
Your
continue
file
to try.
got lost. So this is a 23. I want Barbados to hear this. This is a 23-year-old young man, Sean, and who is writing, trying to be as creative as possible with his music. And he's writing things, as he said, to be uplifting and but they're still very good. The compliments online on his music, very, very good. But the NCF, he has never received $1 from the NCF. As the president of BACA, what do you say to this young man?
Well,
And about the situation?
right. So the Ross has been doing good music for years, and as Ross said, you can look back at the first junior soca competition, compare the content of that first show to the last couple of years of the soca aspect or segment of the junior monarch competition, and you can see that there's a huge difference. One of the things that I've seen let me go back to the positive first. In that year, as Ross said, you listen to the content of the lyrics, excellent. You listen to the melodies, you see the performances, excellent. You compare that junior monarch competition to what we've seen in the last couple of years, is like chalk and cheese, and I say that without apology and without exception. Ross as an artist, Ross as a young one, I always had time for Ross. Big props to Ross because there's a consistency. He's saying yes, he now needs to build his brand, but Ross is already a brand. Like you said, Marcia, when you go online, you look at the comments underneath his songs, not just looking at the songs or the videos or listening to the lyrics, but when you listen to the feedback from the public, Ross is already a brand. So one of the things I want to touch on, even though you didn't directly ask me this question, but something that Danielle mentioned, is I think it's sad when whoever is supporting, whoever is working with a young artist like Sprinkles, that is encouraging her to go down the over-sexualized lane that she's going down. Again, I say that without apology. You know what I mean? Whoever is giving guidance, direction, whoever is managing this young lady, they're doing a horrible job, right? Because as a young artist, you do not want your artist going down that road, because what happens in this industry, I can tell you from my 25 years in this industry, Marcia, she will get used and abused and dumped. It has happened over and over and over without exception. There's none that start like that get away. So if you yeah, go ahead, Ross.
So knowing her, right? Knowing of her,
Right.
Before she was an artist, etc. She was a video girl, right? So
When
everything
you say
she's
a
doing,
video girl, explain to us when you say a video girl, what do you mean?
just females that are paid to be in videos to dance, etc. So like the one that you're showing right now with Master Attorney and Blue, the girls that are in that video, that is what she was, or she was portraying herself as, right? So this is what she's known for.
Oh, okay.
So she, before she was an artist, this is what she was putting out there for herself. So it's hard. It is for she to change that. She more than likely not gonna want to do it because she's never done anything other than that. Or if she did try, she was discouraged, or somebody tells you that ain't gonna work.
Okay, so she's basically doing what she is accustomed what she's accustomed doing. But I
Yeah.
want, I want to know, do you think Danielle, that the NCF, seeing that, I mean, we have witness to it here. This is a 23-year-old young man who wants to sing things that are uplifting and that are, you know, very creative, and you know, all the everything that's great. He wants to be he want to be like Kes or bigger than Kes, right? Um, I mean, do you think that the NCF needs to have some kind of guidelines then, or some structure in place on how money is distributed and who money is distributed to?
I think so personally.
Why?
Because I feel like as a state-run organization, you're held to a higher standard
Agree.
than or lending funding organizations in the private sector, right?
Yeah.
Because you have a budget that's allocated to you that is not necessarily profit driven, right? So, for example, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they can host a show, right? Use the budget that's allocated to them, and it's not profit driven. The success of that show is not profit driven, right? So, for example, you can hold a show and you can, book artists that sing clean music, or you instruct artists to only sing a certain type of music, and they're not under as much pressure as someone in the private sector because they're not relying on ticket sales for the show to be successful,
Mhm.
right? So I feel like they're not limited to having to, rely on
Mm,
crude lyrics and bashment soca to for their shows, right? And I think that that's a part of the funding as well. If you're gonna say, well, okay, the child care board is reporting that sexual acts are going up in schools. Okay, as a state-run organization, what can we do? How about let's not give $5,000 to $30,000 to artists to do videos that are promoting, these lewd acts publicly, right? That's just my opinion. I feel like they have a part to play. I feel like they have, because a lot of soca artists rely on the NCF throughout the crop over season to earn money.
Mhm.
They rely on the shows, they rely on the grants, they rely on the technical assistance, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Fine. If they're gonna rely on it, you can influence the trajectory of their art. Because if you tell them, all
Yeah.
right,
mm,
we're gonna give you $30,000 for an album or $30,000 for a video or whatever, but we're not gonna be funding videos that are promoting these sexual acts and so on and so forth. The artist wants the money.
Yeah.
So they're going to do a cleaner video. They're gonna change the message to receive that money. Now, fine, they may still perform those songs in a show in the private sector, whatever. But at least as a state-funded organization, you are trying to influence the artists to go in a different direction. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Ross, what do you agree with what Daniel is saying? Do you think that that could actually work?
Yeah, I do believe that it could work because at the end of the day, being an artist is a job. So you do it for somewhat funding. So a lot of people do it because it's fun, but at the end of the day, you're still doing it because it's another means of financial support. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I myself I only got to perform at one NCF event, and that was Sweet Lime. Um,
In your whole
it-
career?
no, this is just at my whole career, just one. As a soca artist, it was just the Sweet Lime last year, and I went out there. I also did another song that I wrote for um some other youngsters. It was like four of us on one song. So we got to go out there and perform. It was a lot of fun. I got to engage with the children, etc. That was the highlight of my crop over last year. Um, Given that I am a calypsonian as well, and I do sing a pickety crop. I don't necessarily count that as a like wait, oh,
It's
pardon?
more, you could call it competition as
It's
opposed to,
competition.
yeah.
So
Competition, right?
I don't consider it like a sweet lime where again to perform on a stage for people to enjoy it.
Yes,
Just
I
just
understand.
for soul enjoyment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Marcy, I want to address a myth that I saw. I can't remember who the person was, but in his chat, somebody was saying that lewdness is lucrative. My question is where? Surely working. When you look at Cass, and Cass has crossed over. Cass has done something that soca artists have been trying to do for years. So we've had a trend where Barbadian artists have been trying to get into Trinidad, and Trinidad artists have been trying to get into the USA. And I've said from even before COVID, why are we trying to get into Trinidad when there's a whole world there that we need to get into, that we need to tap into, right? For me personally, again, I've said this to Baka artists as well. Why you limit yourself to the US market? When you look to Asia, Africa, right? If you get 10% of that market, is more than 90% of the US market. So in my brain, in my thinking, and even when I put on my business cap, you're wasting time. Because we're doing two things that are wrong. We're trying to get into Trinidad while the Trinidadians trying to get out of Trinidad, which means we always one step behind. For me, does not make sense business wise, does not make sense as a creative, doesn't make sense, period. Right? The bashment soca that we are promoting, and when I say we, I say that now as a nation. I say that regrettably, as if I was part of the NCF. But we as a nation, we there's two things. We say we have spooge, and we say we don't have spooge anymore, so now we have bashment. And we think that the form of bashment that we have now, that it can be cleaned up, right? And that we have to swallow and accept what the artists are giving us now. That's a joke, because none of these artists have gone anywhere. If you tell me they made a Trinidad on the ground, not even Trinidad on the surface. They have not penetrated.
So your bottom line is that lewdness is not necessarily lucrative, not
It's
for
not.
us here. It
It's
has
not.
not worked. It has not worked for
Has not.
soca.
For none of them.
Danielle, and then we're gonna move on to another point. Go ahead,
That's to
Danielle.
me, that's such a fantastic point. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Right? Bashment soca is only really consumed by a small sector of Barbadians in Barbados.
Correct.
The artists don't get booked in Trinidad. They don't get booked in Jamaica. They don't get booked in St. Lucia. They don't get booked in the US. They don't get
Nowhere.
oh look at nowhere. Look at Cass. Cass has got a song Cocoa Tea, which the spirit of it is a little risque, but there's artistry behind it. You like it's if you break down the lyrics, it is he's singing about sex, but in a sweet way. It's not overtly sexual,
Overtly,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. It's not overt.
It's not
And
raw.
it's no, it's not raw. It's
Yeah.
artistry. It's artistry. It's music. The songs that make it in the US and make it in all these other markets, they're making music. Our bashment soca artists are just trying to make lewd statements, in my opinion. To me, again, it's lazy. There's
Easy.
no artistry. There's no
Correct.
creativity.
But
Same beat, same lyrics,
Same theme.
but
everything.
look at
same
my
right.
screen. Look at my screen. Somebody's saying, because this is what Ross has lived it.
Mm.
Ross has lived this. Ross is look at this. Lewdness is lucrative in Barbados.
Can I
Look at the
counter that
artists
immediately?
who getting work.
I can
Really?
counter that immediately.
Uh-huh.
Lewdness is lucrative in Barbados. How many bashment soca? I challenge the person that made that comment to tell me how many bashment soca artists can provide for their family solely off of the earnings from their bashment soca.
Thank you, Daniel.
To me, if you cannot provide for your family or for your artistry, that cannot be lucrative.
Correct.
How can it be lucrative? Yeah, you may earn $10,000 or $15,000 for the season, but $15,000 across 12 months, that doesn't seem that lucrative to me.
Facts. And where they're getting work, Marcia, they're getting work on cruises.
Ah,
So what's a cruise? Again, it goes back to the mindset and the mentality. Are you a serious artist? Right? Are you looking to make a living from this thing? Can people take you Are you professional? Can people take you serious at your craft? Do you take yourself serious? Or are you just singing for food, singing for a drink, singing to perform at a cruise? Rubbish.
And singing for 3 months. You
Of a year.
realize the
Yeah.
artistry, the Bashma Soca artists only put out music within this very specific proposal window. Are they really artists? Are they really working at their craft? Are they really studying? Are they really understanding what it takes to put together a song? Or are you just going on a random beat and again, whine to the ground, jump down this, jump down that, skin out this, da 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 da, and throwing it out there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I would say they came famous where? Define famous. Again, we you know, Barbados, we drink a lot of Kool-Aid. We drink far too much Kool-Aid
Yeah.
about here.
Yeah.
Too much Kool-Aid.
Someone that I think I didn't tell the people the phone lines are open, but the phone line is open, and there's someone who is
Okay.
calling. And in the, while I get this call set up, guys, I want you to think about rating. My question is, do we have or broadcasting? What are some of the, what do we have in place then? You know, what systems, what are the policies, what's the licensing, all of that that's in place in order to screen some of this music that we're hearing on the radio. I want Ross to think about that. And I think did I lose a call? Okay, I'm gonna sort it out. But anybody wants to tackle that? Ross, do you think, caller, can you call back, please? Ross, do you think that we have enough what do you call it, licensing, and is that the right word I'm using, Sean? um Systems in place, then that's not the right word, regulation in
Right.
place for music that's played on the air in order to protect our children. Do you think we have enough of that in place? Ross, think about that. The caller is here. 1 second. Yes, good night, caller.
This is Victor from Young.
Good night, Victor Young. Victor, how old are you? Let the young people know how old are you. Ross is 23. How young are you?
I'm 87 and 5 months.
87 and 5 months. And he's an athlete, y'all. Yes, go right ahead, Mr. Young.
Now, that video that was shown with that young little baby, right? It was so disgusting. But it would not be disgusting to the people who will soon devour her. Because what has happened there, she's put there to see how good she looks, and she will soon be devoured by the people who like to devour you. And you would know what I mean. She may not be bitten in the kind of way, she may be bitten like how a pit bull will bite you. So that is why she's put out there, so good she looks, and she's there for the taking, for the people who look devouring or who will eat her up, to eat her up.
Yes, sir.
That is what it is. And I admire the young guys there who have some morals and respect. And I hope they will not drop it. I hope they will not drop their pants to get into that kind of situation. The morals in Barbados are getting further. And don't expect anything from the NCF. Check the people who are head of the NCF. Check their behavior years ago, and you would see who will do that.
Yes, sir.
And you just don't wake up one morning and do that. It has to be something that you've been doing all the time, but you can't hide. You see, it will come out.
But Mr. Young, you heard that this wonderful young man on here, his parents raised him up in the music industry in Barbados, trained him up right, and he wants to write music to uplift people. But the NCF doesn't give him any grants for
He's
his
not going to get that because he's dealing with morals, he's dealing with respect. The NCF is not that type. The leaders, he has no apology because they know what you're supposed to be. They can't do me no favors. They can't fire me. They can't even take my life because they will be wasting time. The point I am saying to them, That is how they operate. They want to see that kind of behavior. It is checking for some of the young ones, and they know once they catch some of the young ladies, especially, they will win the things that they want to win because they will be devoured by the captain.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Young, for calling. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. All the best in your athletics.
Yes, I will do my best.
Yes. I come in to watch you run too.
And I talk to Miss Dujon and I tell her to keep the fight going.
Yes.
And I told her that I've been down in there for 15 years and I will talk to the people down in that area. I was down in there for 15 years where I had my job and the people know me well and I still get the respect.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes. 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 All right. That is Victor Young. Okay. So Ross, do you think that we have enough regulation in place in terms of the music being played on the air? Because I don't know if a King Bubba song would get to the air, but then you still hear some things on there. So do you think we have enough regulation in place to protect our children is what I'm asking you?
I don't know if we do, but to stop a King Bubba song from being played on the radio is a hard task.
What do you mean is a hard task?
He has his means. As all it is.
You're telling me, hold a minute. No, you're going to make me take off my glasses and talk patwa. You're telling me that song is going to be played. Did you all hear what he said?
It more than likely could be. I don't know if it will be, but it could be.
But you said that it's going to be a hard task because people have their ways. So even you're saying, even if there are regulations that are in place, that people have the ways to get around that and get their stuff played.
Yeah, I mean there are ways for you to get around it. I do believe he has a radio. He has hands in a radio station, I believe.
Yep.
So that's why he was saying it would be hard to keep him off of the air because he literally has a radio station under his arsenal.
Very interesting. I see Daniel putting up his hand. Daniel, what do you think? Do you think there is enough regulation in place to protect our children?
You something.
Yeah.
I want to show you something that I cannot show on air, but it will reinforce what you're saying. You said you cannot believe that his song could be played on air, right? I am going to send you an alleged photograph. And the photograph is allegedly of a board in the radio station that he has a saying. And on this board, it says that song should be played twice per shift. Right? Now,
send it to me. Send it to me.
I'm going to send, you want me to email it or WhatsApp it?
WhatsApp it. So that song is scheduled.
That
song, it's alleged, President of BACA, that song should be on rotation at least twice a day.
On his station. So
on his station. So that's why Ross is saying, Ross tell it as it is. Correct. That it will be very difficult to get that song off the air. But the question is to you, President of BACA, isn't there a national laws and regulatory bodies that regulate all radio stations?
The regulatory body will be the Broadcast Authority. Last I know,
the Broadcast Authority.
Yeah, last I know, Miss Roach was the head of the
Miss
Broadcast
Roach. Who's Miss Roach? Allison.
Allison, yes.
Okay, Allison Roach. Okay.
Don't know if that has changed, but in last I knew, she was the head of the Broadcast Authority. As it relates to the problem, and I've been seeing this more here from 2020, so at least for these last 5 years, the problem straight across the industry is that we have no regulation. There's no regulations, period. So what you're speaking to now is an issue for the Broadcast Authority. Having said that, each radio station will have their own program managers. You would hear people making reference to Ronald Clark as the hot boss. He's the program manager for 95.3 Hot FM at Starcom. Right? 98.1, they will have their program manager as well. Each radio station will have their program manager, but the radio stations still have to answer to the Broadcast Authority, which means that if you do something that is outside of their guidelines, then they could revoke your license. So every single radio station, new or old, had to get that license from the Broadcast Authority. And I can speak to that because I actually know myself and a business partner. A couple of years back, we actually went through the process to register 2 radio stations. So I can tell you for sure there is some guidelines. The regulations as it relates to content is very slim. That comes down to the program managers. So songs that would never have hit the airwaves 15 years ago, you're hearing them on the airwaves now, and you're hearing them beep up. So you're hearing beep, beep, beep. So certain words are being edited out.
Being edited out.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to know to see what is going to happen with this King Bubba song. But we have a caller on the line. Caller, good night. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Yes, good night.
Yes, could you speak a little louder, please?
Well, I chose to calling on this topic as it relates to the arts and the regulation of lyrics and whatever it be. If you really have to do historical checks on Barbados as it relates to the arts, we all know this. Let's be frank. We all I can speak for myself. Party hard and understand that Barbados has a culture of double entendre. Double entendre in its lyrical thing, and it came from even way back in the slave days, or so in terms of the plantation days, where we would speak things and say things that mean one thing, that the master can't really understand that it meant something else. Where I'm going with this is that I saw recently on, was it St. Andrew, was it Barclays? I'm not sure if it was Barclays, but St. Andrew, where I think the BLP had a picnic or some as the Bajan said, some dooflicky. And it was a big, everybody skinning, as the was skinning the teeth, a double entendre with, was it Peter Ram with his fat pork, right? So where I'm coming with this, and it was so pedestrian politics, having what's the name again, Blackman there at the front park. I call it park. Like we have a car park, and beside him flanked with the Prime Minister, and I think I saw Sanchez there too, but there were other people around. As the saying was, flanking the Prime Minister as usual, like flanks in inverted commas. But where I'm going with this is that Barbados need to stop being so pretensive and just be real. Look, we are fools in Barbados. We know when things mean one thing and it means Bajans can just skin the teeth, just fat port. And I'm not sure if you know. You should know fat ports because you are a country. When I say a country girl, you know about picking fat ports in the country. I'm sure you know about fat ports.
But we don't eat it in Jamaica. I only learned of it when I got here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but that's okay. I know what it is.
Right, but without being provocative on here, we all know that what the double entendre that really means. But going further than that now to what is happening in Barbados as it relates to the I call it the weaponization of culture towards the dumbing down of the children. Because come on, who for a vying Minister of Education, because you could use as much titles as you want. You could say that you are only strategically talking about reformation or whatever his title is. But the fact is that you play a part in education. Who, for a person that plays a significant role in education, would want to hear his or her children repeating provocative stuff like that, especially if you are platforming it in a political space? Because you see, leave that for the party and the dub and that sort of stuff. That they are free to do whatever they choose to do. It. Right? You see what I mean? So I hope I'm not taking too much of your time.
Yes, we have another caller. No, but I understand the point you're making, that everybody know when they say fat pork, everybody know what that is. And then to have, you're saying there's some things, I mean, for somebody, a leader, somebody who represents people, as Apache was saying, you know, you're a role model. People look up to you. You're leading people, and to be, I understand you.
Education,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, point well taken. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's really interesting, Dave. Would you be able to put up what we just had there, please, Dave? I sent it in your WhatsApp. There's another caller here. Hang with us, Ross. Hang with us, Ross. You have exams tomorrow?
No, not in school.
Not in school. Man, hang with us a little more. We're soon finished. It's interesting. And the people love you, Ross. We're going to be playing your music all the time now. Wow, we have a heavy hitter on the line, man. I should have called him. Good night. I don't know if I can say the name of the person who is online, but on the call. But good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Good evening. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Can I tell the people who you are?
Oh, definitely. I don't have to hide from the FBI.
Or the Barbados government, I'm telling you. Well, this is Peter Headley, folks, and he is a veteran. Do you know who Peter Headley is, Ross?
No, he wouldn't be there.
Yeah, I can't say ever.
I'm way out of his dynamics.
Listen, this is
my backup president definitely would know.
Yes. Listen, Peter Headley is responsible in getting a lot of our artists. A lot of you ever hear about Miles? What his name was again? Miles
Robertson.
Miles Robertson was the first keyboard player for Adele. This is a man that put him out there, you know. So he worked a lot with artists. I knew him years and years and years and years ago. So, Mr. Headley, it's great to have you on. Are you in Barbados?
Oh no, I'm home in New York.
You're home in New York. Okay. So you've been listening to the program. What is it? What are your thoughts?
I do follow your program continuously because it's very uplifting and it keeps you informed as to what is happening on the ground. So definitely I follow it.
Thank you so much, sir. I would love for you to be on here one of these nights. But let's go. Let's hear what's on your mind right now.
Well. First of all, let me just say, I you know what is being said tonight. I endorse it because it's big. But one thing I want to caution about: we have to be very careful not to bring censorship to the table. Yes, I'm saying I know that we have the things about the lewdness of the lyrics and stuff like that, but we still have to know what that line of saying we want to dictate to artists what they should say and what they should not say. Unfortunately, we do not have, as Sean was saying, the regulatory dynamics that would allow us to not have to go down that route. Mm-hmm. I have been inundated with the two things. I don't think that I don't think it does a service to the two artists. I don't know why they will do that, because basically it doesn't, as Sean said earlier, it doesn't even go beyond a parish level, because you know if you play the song within one particular environment, it's going to stay there. Now, I might contradict myself here, and my president might want to jump on me. I like the beat.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I like the beat. Mm-hmm. I think if that beat could you can put some different type lyrics on it, you would have something going on. Unfortunately, whoever is advising the artist think that is the way to get, I don't know, likes, clickbait, popularity. Definitely it's not going to make any money, because they don't have any marketing and nobody's going to put no money behind that. Even if they put money behind it, it's not going to be accepted, because what format and what genre would it be undertaken in? But it's unfortunate that our artist has to, you know, take that kind of route to be able to be recognized. I don't know what the young man's music is about. I'm not going to come here and tell that I hear his music, but I like his delivery. I like his speech. I like what he's saying.
You're talking about
Like
Ross? Ross?
Yeah, I would like him to continue to pursue that path, and the results will be forthcoming.
Very, very well said. I especially Faith song. I love the beat of Faith song. It's very sweet, the melody and all of that. I just wish. I wish that it could be something that I could sing along to, because I love. I'm sorry. I love the bashment soca. I love the rhythm. I just can't manage all of that kind of lyrics.
If you listen to the song, and I'm not going to try to get technical for the I don't want to get technical for the audience, but if you listen to the song and you look at her on the video, she's not singing that song in a sense because she doesn't believe it.
Agree. I noticed that. I noticed that.
So if you see the expression, you realize, look, oh, this is just, he knows that is not her. He knows that is not her.
Listen, oh my goodness, I watched that too, Sean, and I said there's something, because I'm an artist. I don't sing, but I'm into theater, film, and so on. Yep. And I'm reading it, Ross, and I'm saying this girl is not one with this. She is. You could even see in the dance, because we run a dance school. I could see that she has not embodied even the movement. Some of it is a little odd. Like she's a little off. It's not her. So she is. It's not her. Oh my goodness! I felt the same thing.
It goes back.
And as Sean said earlier, we are surrounded by people that call themselves managers and advisors and stuff like that, but they do not have the interest of not only the individual artists, but they don't have the interest of a growing industry and environment. They don't. I mean, I have been in this game for more than 35 years. I've heard a lot of people talk a whole bunch of nonsense. The thing is, no disrespect to you, Marcia, but the last time I called into your program, my good common brother, Glenn Murray, said to me that I didn't have the name brand. That's why I am not given some sort of accolade. But look, I don't want no accolade from those people. I deal with the biggest in the business in the world. I deal with the biggest. When you could be managing a guy that is the MD for Adele for 3 album tours, and you sitting down with guys from Europe, from the States. I don't care about nobody in Barbados saying, well, deal with Peter Hagley, because look at the people that they have taken and promoted. What have they ever done? Nothing. Not one thing. But they keep hosting these fake people on the youngsters, and the youngsters are being guided in the wrong direction all the time. I'm not gonna quarrel about whether the NCF should give money or not. But the thing is, we have to look at the whole ecosystem differently, and we shouldn't have to wait until this period of time for conversations to be had to say this is not music that should be played.
Yes. Well, thank you, sir. And I'm hoping that I can have you, because throughout the crop over season, we just want to keep, we got every now and again we're gonna have a couple of shows like these. So thank you so much for calling.
You can call me anytime. We are family.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for your contribution. Yes, sir. Yes. Wow. This is why I love this kind of setting here, because you get all kinds of people, Sean, calling, but he's saying Ross, that if he's worried about censorship, and he's saying if we don't have the boards to truly regulate the music that is on the air, then it might lead to censorship. As a young artist, do you worry about censorship?
I feel everybody should be allowed to express how they feel through their music. I feel like that's a way of letting out emotion, because the young people of my generation, I feel like the fastest thing that they turn to is depression and suicide. Yeah.
Say that
So
again. Say that again.
the young people of my generation, the fastest thing that they turn to when they don't feel heard or they don't get enough help or they aren't listened to is depression and suicide. And that's it hurt a lot because I feel like whenever we try to express ourselves or say something that we are passionate about
Mhm.
is brought over as either disrespectful or rude. And that's just not what it is. Is I feel like it's more we want to be seen as equals than the young people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
And
it's good.
people use music. People are using art to express themselves.
Yeah, especially like I don't personally know Faith Calendar.
Mhm.
Um, but I've met her a couple of times. She's a very nice person, very
Very
down
nice.
to earth,
I know. Yeah, I've met her, and a very nice person.
and she does have a very nice voice, and she does write her own music.
Mhm.
So even though she may not look comfortable singing the song, or she might not be in the song, she wrote it. So you gotta study it might be a case where she just write it to write it, or it could be a
Mhm.
case where she write it because they say she wants it and get off she just don't feel comfortable or she don't know what gonna come after she say this.
Mhm. Okay, so
Yeah,
many
because
things. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, it came right after a situation where a lot of hate was coming towards Barbados because we are supposed from what the Guyanese is vice president, I believe.
Yeah,
And
but that comment was taken out of context, just so you know. But anyway, yeah,
from
it was.
from what
Yeah.
from what from what it was perceived as, it was that Barbados in a place where the boys should feel comfortable saying that there's a vacation spot, etc. Right? She was just trying to defend. She's just trying to defend her country, but in the way she defended it may not have been the best way to do it.
But it's the
But
attempt.
at the end of the day, the intention behind it was good. It was right.
Interesting.
That's
Very interesting. We have another caller. Caller, good night. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Good evening, Marcia.
Good evening,
I'm,
sir.
I'm
How are
going to
you?
be extremely brief.
Yes, sir.
You call that cultural expansion? That's
But
what I saw there not long ago.
yeah, but that's a program by the NCF, and that.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah. That's going to the lowest denominator. It's crude, lewd, and ordinary. Show me any individual who would like to see their young daughter or granddaughter conduct themselves like that in the pub.
Mm-hmm.
You can't on one hand be saying, let us curb the minibus culture and promote that and to bring vibes like the patron saint to the country. You're throwing gasoline to fire. That is our taxpayers' money.
Mm-hmm.
We've got so many. The young man there. I could put money behind that. I couldn't put my last cent behind that. And it is things like these which we have to stand up and militate against and say no. Ask for the resignation of whomever is spending that money. I ain't looking for no votes. I ain't begging for no votes. I'm not doing it. You must say something is wrong when it is wrong.
Agree.
I know as a member of parliament, I was asked to put money in. I said no, not my money. If my child can't get into it, if my niece, my nephew, my friend, no self-respecting person would send their children to that. And we got to call a spade a spade. You can't call bashment a genre. To be a genre, you must occupy a certain time frame, and it must be accepted by a certain section of the community. What genre are you telling me about? That is worthless, lewd, crude, ordinary behavior.
But can I say something that remember now when we're talking about bashment, so you have the music, the musical part of it, and then you have the lyrics. And I think that the musical part of it, it's something that is organic. It's out of Barbados, right? Sean and
It is, yeah.
Ross, right?
Yeah.
The word bashment, it is a Jamaican thing, and
I
so
know.
But what I'm saying, really, like when you take a song like caller, let me just engage you a little bit. You take a song like Little Rick, I Like Myself.
Yeah.
Is that bashment, Ross?
Nah, that's not bashment.
That's not bashment.
No.
So
That's
so
just
bashment will more be down the lines of that'd be more down the lines of glamour girls who them are maybe even take off something pelted way stiffy.
yes, okay.
That would be more down the lanes of bashment.
Right, bashment. But what I'm saying, why can't we caller um put some positive lyrics in that kind of music
To the
instead of
music.
throwing it all away? Is what I'm saying.
Well, I have no problem with that. But if the lyrics are crude and lewd and ordinary, not that it's not even risky. You're going straight to the extreme. Martha, if you do not want it for your daughter or your granddaughter, why should you feed it to somebody else? Why are you giving it to the why are you giving it to the poor section of the country?
Well,
That's all it is.
the NCF has they've paid for. I've seen a couple videos that they have paid, and it's their program. It's and their label is on it. Their branding is on it.
But there's nothing expansive about that, and I am very upset that my taxes, my VAT, going to fund things like that, man.
And I don't know, Ross, do you know how much is the budget for the NCF this year? Between April to the April, you know how much money they have to spend? Take a guess.
I'm not sure, like a couple 100,000. I'm not sure.
100,000.
A
They
couple
have
100,000.
$14 million, Ross.
Whoa. Whoa.
Say it, Ross. Say 14 million.
14 million.
You know what you would even do with like an eighth of that? You would make the best things and the best songs, you know?
Yeah.
And they can't award a 23-year-old young man that has so much, such a vision. You know, caller, they can't even give him a couple thousands of that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, we must call a spade, and say, cut it. It does nothing to identify with. And I heard someone saying about going the Trinidad route to get to the US. Well, it is unfortunate how to happen so. Like, we have to go the Jamaica route in athletics to get to America. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes the footballers have to go the Canadian route to get to England. You know, we're small. We're small, yes. There's those who would jump the barrier and go to the top. But I ain't got much of a problem going the Trinidad route to get to America. You know, there are people who come the Barbados route to get other places, even to get citizenship. You know, so we're all strong in our own ways. But that behavior, and you cannot be out of favor with the minibus culture and promote things like that.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's very a double standard and it is lewd behavior.
Yes,
you
sir.
can't dress it up. You can't dress it up. You cannot. You can do nothing. As I said to you, Mr. Barrow had a term for it: submerged to the top. There's nothing expansive about that other than lewdness and crudeness.
Yes.
And business got to get up and say, not about here with our money, not with our VAT. There are other things you could do with our VAT. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
good night, panel.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. As we come to a close, we're coming to a close. We have 9 minutes. I want us to think about this. Danielle, you know, he's a family man and he has I think he has a child or children, he said, and he has to put them to bed. Okay, so he's not on at present. Danielle, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I should be putting them to bed, but I said I'll give you about 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay, got you. So let me go directly to you. So do you think that a rating system or content advisory should be put on festival content? And if so, how would this work? Do you think that that we should, in order to protect children and the youth, should we have a rating system, or a content advisory for crop over content? And if so, how do you think it would work?
How do I think it will work? It's man. You see, acknowledging that there's a problem doesn't immediately mean that you have the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I say that to say I'm not entirely sure what the solution would be, but I will acknowledge that we have a problem. Um, how would a content advisory system work? The reason why I'm struggling because Mr. Headley mentioned, um, trying not to censor the artist,
Yeah.
and I agree with that. I feel like artists should be able to express themselves in manners that they see fit, right? Um, but I feel like the state should also be funding things that are in the public's best interest, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't feel like a lot of the lewd and crass, music with those kind of overtones are within society's best interest, right? So I feel like they shouldn't be state funded. What the private sector decides to do with their funding, fine.
Mm-hmm.
You work for your
Mm-hmm.
money,
So,
spend it and put it in areas that you see fit. But with taxpayers' money, I feel like they should go towards initiatives that benefit society. And I don't feel like those kind of songs and artists putting out that type of music benefits society as a whole, right? Going back to the question, I'm not sure how those limitations could be put in place. Um, in some instances, they should already be put in place where like children of a certain age shouldn't be able to go to certain fetes and parties to consume this music. Um, Outside of that, I'm not
You're not
sure.
too
I'm
sure,
I'm
but
I'm
it's
giving it
something.
thought, but I
It's
don't
yeah,
have the
it's
answers
something for
myself.
us all to think on. Sean.
So I agree with Peter and with Daniel as to the aspect of censorship. Um, at the same time, and again, I've said this for the last 2 years. When you look at a government entity as the NCF, who sponsors or produces the Junior Monarch. So there are two aspects of it. There's a Junior Monarch Calypso show. There's a Junior
Mm-hmm.
Monarch Soca show. When you look at the content that our children, because that's what they are, they're children. Tay, Nika, Ross, Dynamo, all of these guys came through the Junior Monarch. At the time when they came through it, it was just a calypso competition. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
soca competition. There are probably like two each year so far. There has been like two or three, probably a little bit more, but a few bashment songs within the soca section because there's no bashment section. But again,
It's
when you
three every year.
look at the content, even of the soca songs, right? A lot of the content is not suitable for children. Children are singing. You got 11-year-olds, 12, 13, 14, 15, singing songs as if they're seasoned soca artists about fetting. What does a
Mm.
child know about fetting? Right? Again, it goes back to poor parenting. It goes back to poor management. Like Ross says, the we had this conversation before, even as it relates to Vibes Cartel. You could never say that the problem is the music. It is not the music. The music is part of the problem. So you can't exclude the music and you can't exclude the artists. We have some very positive artists. Look at Tay, look at Dynamo, look at Ross. These are all young people, all with excellent track record, excellent music, lyrics, melody, performance. I would dare say you would never see Tay singing none of these lyrics. You know why? Because they're people who understand brand, who understand brand identity, who understand brand consistency, but people who genuinely care for the individual. So I don't want to negatively call names again, but we have young people out there that have the right people behind them that are pushing them in the right direction. We have one on this program tonight in Ross. I mentioned two others, Dynamo. I mentioned Tay. Tay actually, I got to say resign, resign from Junior Mother as the queen, undefeated, and graduated onto the big stage. Came out to the SOCA arena on the junior stage, having won it twice with two excellent songs, which, to my mind, again, my opinion, there are only two or three songs from the last 2 years that can compare to the SOCA competition that Ross and Dynamo and 3D was in, the first SOCA competition that they had. Again, look at the content, look at the lyrical content that first SOCA competition had, and it was age appropriate. It was suitable for kids. It was suitable for children, right?
Yeah.
And that's a part of the problem. So you have, like I said, Junior Monarch produced by NCF. You have these music videos that you just shared. Again, people are getting funding for these type of things from the NCF. Should never happen. As the caller was saying, that's the taxpayers' money. And as Danielle was saying just now, things that are whether the money is coming from the NCF or they are the ones who are making the decisions, the mere fact that it's being funneled through them, they should make decisions that are in the best interest of the community, of the country, of the young people, and they're not doing that.
Yes. Well, time is against us, and I want to ask Ross. Ross, you're watching these videos, and the most times in the videos, the people that are without clothes are Black women. Well, in our case, are women then, okay? Do you think, as a young person looking on, in your mind, does this degrade Black women? Do you see Black women any less? I saw a post by this girl, Sherri, Veronica, and it was a very positive, very positive post that she has, and she was talking about Black women, and if we that we don't respect ourselves, we don't value ourselves. When you see like that picture we just put up, how does that does it devalue us in your eyes?
In my eyes, it does put a stain on the perception I get of you.
A stain. What do you mean a stain? Explain.
Like for me, obviously my example of a woman is my mother. You know, so this is what I have to go off of. It's not to say that your example of a woman was a bad example. You know, it's just that this is not how I was raised, and that's not what I like. You know, I also go to the events. I go to fets. We take powder. I went to those things. I don't go anymore because it wasn't my crowd. You know, it wasn't my cup of tea. But I can't say that it degrades the women, because for me to say that it degrades women would mean that I have to have a grading system in my head for women already, and they don't. I feel like
You said
women
it
are
put
their
a
own.
stain, but it put a stain.
It does make me look at you differently, but I am not one to judge you because they don't know what you go through, or what your upbringing was like. You know, that's my
And
opinion on that.
yes, and I want, if there are people from the NCF listening, coming out of this conversation, what would you honestly want to say to officials, anybody who's watching from the NCF that might have I hope you're not afraid, to have the power to make decisions. They're supposed to be a developmental agency. Okay, what would
Uh,
you really say to them?
just take a chance on something different. That's the best way I could put it. Take a chance on something different. Because you never know that one chance that you take might be the one thing you was looking for to get you out of get you into the situation you wanted to get into.
Wow. Interesting. And Sean, half a second. What do you want to say to the NCF? Half a second.
Those who know better should do better.
There we go. Thank you all so very much for being with us tonight. Thank you, Ross. I mean, oh Lord, we love having you and getting exposed to your music. It's actually my first time. Today, your dad sent me, and I was able to listen to your music, and I will continue to. I'll go search for some more and listen to it. And from time to time, we always play your father's song, and we're gonna play some of your songs on the show as well. Okay.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, we definitely will. Sean, thank you as usual. Thank you for your steadfastness.
Thank you very
You've
much.
been, you've been just a person of integrity, and
Thank
you've
you.
been saying the same thing since I know you till now. And I want to say, yeah, you haven't changed. I've been just listening to you. And saying, wow, you're the same person. Thank you so much. And to Daniel, who had to go to look after, to put his children to bed. Thank you, Daniel, for being with us. And to all the viewers, thank you so much. This has been quite interesting. And this is a show, yes, Teroni, yes, such a great show that can make a difference. I think it's something that we can take and cut up. And, Apache, you can go ahead, Baka can take it and cut it up and
Yes,
send it
sure.
out there. Some powerful words have been said by Ross. Thanks
Yes,
to
agree.
Dave for working so relentlessly behind the scenes. Thank you so much. God bless you all and see you on Sunday. Bye-bye. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Look, things are really getting rough. Yes, things are really getting tough. We need to hold up each other. Black and white must come together. No matter who we all are one blood. There's no reason why we can't show love. There's no other way that we can exist. We can't go on taking life like this. I say we all in this together. It's all for one and one for all. We all in this together. I say we got this. We all in this together. Yes, I for you and you for me. We all in this together. So when you're going through the storms, the rain, feeling the hurt and the pain, when you're feeling down and out, remember we are in this. Look, whether we are near or far, we showing love, that's who we are. This love we wanted to go viral. We spreading it to make it global. In unity, there's strength, so let's come together. And stop the senseless violence against your brother. If we can walk in unity, Black Lives Matter. They matter, yes, they matter. We can do that day by day with each other. I say we all in this together. It's all for one and one for all. We all in this together. I say we got this. We all in this together. Yes, I for you and you for me. We all in this together. So when you're going